Welcome to episode 10 of the Copium Take. I'm your host, Drew, here with Jake and Jonah. We're back again. We're back again.
Guess
Jake,
who's back
guess who's back?
again?
I mean, theoretically, Jake never left. But for
It's
the
true.
for the unshown, never will be seen pod, he wasn't there. We needed him
It's cap.
most.
They're lying. I was there the whole time.
We're here reacting to week one of the NFL season. Football's back. Real football's back.
Whoop, whoop. Whoa,
Some
what do you mean? Real
some
football?
smiles happen, some tears happen. But we're gonna get into it. But before we do, we're gonna show you our final tier list of the 8 teams the podcast just got corrupted. I don't know what to tell you guys.
What do
They
you?
didn't.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone remembers the thrilling AFC East and NFC West videos we did. Those are some of the best viewed videos we had.
Oh, you're right, man. I forgot him. I got CTE.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You were the guy that was hit by the LSU player.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But this is where we put him. The Bills, contenders, no qualms, I would imagine.
Whoa, I don't know.
The Rams and Niners made it into playoff teams. Anybody else? Nope. Moving down. Dolphins, playoff hopeful. Jake wasn't happy. Who cares?
Ratbirds. The Ratbirds of the sea.
Cardinals outside looking in. That might be looking like a favorite to them at this point.
We might have been generous there.
Yeah. Seattle, Ratbirds. Might be a little
Might have
mean to
been.
them.
Yeah, it might have been mean. We're dicks.
Jets and Patriots round up the Ratbirds. That's not shocking.
The Patriots was one of those teams where it's like Bill Belichick. I can't bet on to be top 10. We took a chance. We were right.
Yeah, I was probably the only one close to dissenting there. I would have been close to outside looking in, but even I was like, put them in the rat.
So, with that being said, we're going to come back to this at the end with some overreactions. But for now, we're going to be jumping through these games.
Yeah, which games are these? The preseason games?
Preseason week 3, baby. We told you we were doing a preview. It's happening now.
Let's go.
This is just preseason week 4. Copium didn't count. We get a do-over, right?
I don't want that.
Yeah, you redo the
Yeah, we don't
injuries
actually
as well,
start
right?
0-1, right? Dak
You
doesn't
get
have
a
a broken thumb.
Yeah, the injuries didn't happen.
Please.
It was a simulation.
It's not how this works, guys. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm all for it.
So,
My bet's looking good about the Cowboys.
well, I guess theoretically it would never come through, right?
What do you mean?
They would never go 0-5.
No, they're going out 5.
Okay. Well, we had the Bills-Rams kick off the season for us. And I think the overreaction here is the Bills. I think they shut up everyone. I think a lot of people were tired of the Bills being the favorites, quote unquote. And people are like, well, they haven't earned it. I think this game showed. I mean, the Bills just looked far and away, and including this past weekend, just looked far and away the best, like one of the best top 3 teams in the league. Josh Allen's still Josh Allen, if not better. The receiving core seems more balanced now than it has like the last 2 years with Diggs. Like Gabe Davis has taken a big step. Crowder, who I thought was dead because McKenzie got the job, was like still pretty good. And then McKenzie scored and wasn't bad. So, and then this was with Dawson Knox not doing anything. So, I think they look good. Thoughts before we flip to the Rams? Thoughts on the Bills?
On the Bills specifically.
I will say on this game, I didn't remember this game was somehow tied at halftime. The Bills just were so dominant start to finish.
And the Bills turned it over. The reason it was tied is because they turned it over 3 times.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's an overreaction to say anything positive about the Bills. I think it's just the reaction everybody should have.
The Bills turned it over 4 times in total, right?
But yeah, I think it was 3 times in the first half. They had the McKenzie pick, which was McKenzie's fault. They had the good jump route
They had the James Cook fumble.
Yeah, those were the three. It was James Cook and then
Oof.
the just a good corner play by, I'm not sure who it was. I can probably look real fast.
Not Ramsey.
It wasn't Ramsey. He was there, but it wasn't Ramsey.
Yeah, Ramsey watched a touchdown happen to a Stephon Diggs that was laying on his ass.
I don't like I don't like the Ramsey hate.
I've been hating Ramsey for
I don't
years
know who
now.
could be one of these guys. I want to say it was Troy Hill, but it
Well,
was a
I
good
want to
play.
say it was the other guy then.
But look, this video keeps starting. But yeah, I mean, the Bills look legit. It's week 1, but they look legit. At this point, it's just like they just need to coast through the AFC East and stay as healthy as physically possible. Von Miller, I think some people might have doubted that move, and I think he just made that D line. The only part of their defense that's was really weak was that D line, and if Von Miller does that is giving them that much of a boost, the Bills are terrifying. But
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Bills Mafia. They're goated now.
But let's flip over to the Rams then. Oh, you got one more thing to say?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I was already high on the Bills, but to me, I don't know. It just feels like they have to be one of your top 3 in the AFC now, right? Like at the league,
in the NFL.
In the NFL.
See, I don't know if I'm like, hey, they're for sure top 3.
Can you name an NFC team you'd pick over them?
An AFC team I would pick
No,
over?
an NFC team.
Yeah, the NFC's dead.
I would have to think about it. Probably
I mean,
not.
unless you're picking the Bucks.
I would agree. I think I would agree that I think the AFC is probably stronger right now. So like, because of that, they probably would be top 3. But it's just, everyone's like a team might just pop up on the NFC.
Yeah.
But yes, you're probably right.
All right, let's jump over to the Rams. I don't know. They didn't look bad.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
they look terrible.
They look. I really don't think they look that bad. I think they just played fucking I just think they played the Super Bowl winning team. Like, I think that's what happened to them.
But
they definitely are worse than they were last year.
They've got some problems. Like, that secondary didn't hold up very well. The loss of Andrew Whitworth is massive and wasn't talked about much this offseason, but it's going to be a big problem for this team.
I mean, you supposedly have 2 good running backs, and you were averaging under 3 yards a carry.
I just think this Von Miller thing, it's like turned the Bills into something different. And I'm not overreacting. I'm not taking them. I'm not saying they're a contender, but I'm not taking them out of this playoff run. I think they're going to be fine.
And then poor Stafford.
The Rams won't make the playoffs. They're terrible.
That's bold.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna hop on that one.
I mean, there are.
No, there's enough wild card teams. There's not very many good NFC teams. They'll make it.
The bottom of the NFC is it is insanely open. Especially too, so many teams lost. I mean, they're tied. The Rams, Niners, and then who else am I forgetting?
The Cardinals in the division?
Oh yeah, the Cardinals are all tied for last. The Seattle Seahawks are winning this division right now. Just jumping ahead.
Yeah. The only thing is, I only see. I would be shocked if the Rams don't end up winning this division. So to me, they have to be a playoff.
Yeah, but you really, really hate the Niners, so.
I don't hate the Niners. I think
the Niners are going to be fine. I mean, I'll talk about. I mean, I'll talk about why I think they're still fine when we get to that game. But yeah. I mean, let's finish this game up. I mean, some of you guys think are dead. I mean, the big highlights of this game are Cam Akers getting 3 carries. Rip to you, fantasy owners that have him.
Called it.
Told you not 3 carries and 0 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it's so odd to me because he just felt like all the stuff last season when he came back in the playoffs was like Akers is McVay's guy, and then McVay had he had comments about him how he's like they want more urgency and everything out of him. They kind of want a reaction out of him, so I don't know.
Gotta give credit where credit's due. Drew, you called it.
Thanks, appreciate it. Cooper Kupp doing Cooper Kupp
things.
No,
I don't know why you didn't ever talk about it.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
But Cooper Kupp doing Cooper Kupp things.
Did he play? I don't know.
The question is, did Allen Robinson play?
Ooh, that hits a little.
Allen Robinson, I honestly, I don't blame him. I saw plenty Twitter highlights of him open a good amount of the time.
You don't blame him for not playing?
Nope, don't don't blame him for not playing.
You would have not shown up either.
Maybe I would have thrown. Maybe if I was getting fucking dog walked by the Bills, I would have thought to maybe throw to someone besides Cooper Kupp. It literally looked like I was watching the Super Bowl last year when fucking OBJ got hurt, and they were just like, "Well, Cooper, go get open."
Well, it did seem to work that time.
I mean, it at least worked for Cooper Kupp this time.
And for my fantasy team.
Yep. But anything else? Any closing thoughts? We moving on to the next game?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, let's move on. We're just going down the list. Steelers are next. They're up
No,
here
I don't
because
think
they're one of my favorite teams.
anyone about this game. Is this a game people care about?
I cared about it. We beat the Bengals. They put on Twitter, their little Twitter bio said, "What are they even stealing?" And then we fucking came into their house and fucking dubbed them. Bunch of pussies.
Whoa, language, sir.
I mean,
This is a Christian
Burrow,
server.
everything I was spitting before the fucking during the preseason and everything, all right. Burrow, trash.
I disagree.
Mixon, trash.
Huh.
Chase, trash.
Yeah, Trey struggled.
T. Higgins, where's he at? I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He Higgins definitely was out targeted. He out targeted Chase.
Yeah, it's hard though, when your brain got shook to the point where you're not seeing straight. But yeah, you're right, Jake. Bet's off anyways. You better hope Chase misses a game. You better hope they.
Chase is gonna sit out week 18, and then it's gonna be even.
It's gonna be dead even. But
No, even in the games played.
But actually, I mean, this game is Steelers defense played about as perfect of a defensive game as you physically could, and we won by 3 points off some wild shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, also if you're the Bengals, if you're a Bengals fan, you should really feel pretty good about this.
The only concern if you're a Bengals fan is the offensive line.
Well, but like my thing is like you did they force a turnover?
Did who?
The Bengals.
No.
So you lost the turnover battle 5-0 and lost by 3 in overtime against a division rival.
Because your kicker missed a field goal. Because your coach didn't challenge a should have been touchdown.
Also because your coach accepted a tie.
Well, you guys, I don't know, maybe y'all didn't see this. You know the whole story behind the missed PAT, right?
Yeah, the holder got hurt.
Well, good. No,
Or not the
yeah,
holder, the
no,
snapper.
actually,
Sorry, snapper.
yeah, less the PAT actually. Now that I'm saying it, and really more the overtime field goal. But
Well, the snap.
the PAT,
I think Mika's block was aided by the snap being slower than normal.
no, that's not a real thing. People keep saying that. Snap time does not matter on field goals.
Okay, Mika's the best. I'm down.
Yeah. What happened on that is freaking Drew Sample, right? Drew Sample, that's the tight end. If you watch the film, he goes out. He doesn't secure the inside gap. You're secure inside punch out. He just hops straight outside and gives Minka a wide open lane on the interior. And Minka's smart enough to take it and just easily gets in.
I will say too, talking about Minka, I mean, fucking literally, boy got paid and said, "I don't care. I'm still gonna fucking ball the fuck out. Like I'm broke." I mean, pick 6, first drive of the game. What he did during the game. I mean, like you go and you can look up the PFF. I don't remember all the stats that PFF, but the PFF guy on Twitter put out stats of Mika's game, and it was insane. Blocks the PATs into overtime. Like, boy balled out. And then
But just to clarify for anyone who thinks that the PAT is because the snap does not matter one bit. Like, unless you just miss the snap, but like snap speed does not affect. Is not an effect on whether you get blocked and all the PAT.
I think too, the final thing for as a Steelers fan was this game was so bittersweet when it seemed like TJ was going to be out the year, but now they're saying TJ should be back, and like he'll probably be back after our bye in week 9. So At least I got some. Maybe by then it's like, ooh, TJ's coming back. Kenny Pickett has been playing for like two games by then, playing good. Like maybe the end of the season will be real fun. But
Well, why do you think it's not just Mitch Trubisky winning the Heisman though?
I really Heisman. That's big
Heisman.
wild. I
Yeah,
I
you
don't,
know.
I mean I was working most of this game, but the highlights and the stuff I watched, I was not impressed by Trubisky in this offense. That's me.
No, the defense gave you guys tremendous field position, or just straight up scored for you guys.
Yeah, but no turnovers.
They played clean, but the thing is too, like the only, and I mean too, you can give and I don't think the Bengals defense is something like crazy good. Crazy good for us to like have the type of field position we had the whole game and to basically win off multiple miracles. I'm not worried about the Steelers as if we're gonna, we're gonna win the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I just kind of want Kenny Pickett to play. I'm waiting for Trubisky to prove me wrong, and he just seems like too much of a game manager. Whereas like it's like the same stuff I saw in the preseason, where I thought Kenny Pickett would sit in that pocket and take like getting mauled. Of course, our offensive line is awful. Whereas I don't feel like Mitch will do it as much, but I don't know. You've been quiet, Jonah. Why do you hate the Steelers so much?
I don't hate them. I just think that this win was a tremendously dominant defensive performance, but doesn't make me feel any differently about the team as a whole.
The Bengals and Rapper then?
No, no, I don't. I think the Bengals just had a bad game.
What if
They overcame so much adversity and just couldn't get it done in the end. I
what if
feel perfectly fine about the Bengals, with the exception of like some slight question marks about their supposedly significantly better offensive line.
what if they lose next week?
If they lose next week to the Dakless Cowboys, then I'd have them in Ratbird.
All right, we'll wait. We'll keep moving then. We'll move to the revenge game. Wait.
Ooh,
No revenge
Vince
was
Hurley.
made. No revenge was made by the Carolina Panthers. Any bit. I don't know a lot about this game. Somebody else take over here.
Kareem
Screw
Hunt did pretty
Kareem Hunt.
good.
Yeah, screw the Browns for how they use Kareem
Uh,
Hunt.
I want a storyline of this game. Someone give it to me.
so
Um,
The Browns offense is going to be able to sustain success in spite of Jacoby Brissett. Those running backs are going to be able to do a lot to carry that offense, and the defense is still good.
Okay.
the
I wouldn't be
scariest
surprised if
thing
they're
I think,
500 when
the scariest
Deshaun's
thing
back.
I think is if you're a Panthers fan, the Christian McCaffrey looked like they found him out.
Yeah, his best run came on a muffed snap from Mayfield that doesn't even count statistically.
I don't
It was
know.
like a 30-something yard run that didn't count.
The only thing I will argue with McCaffrey, I don't think he's been found out. I just think too that I mean I saw a lot of the highlights of this, and there was definitely a lot of times when the Panthers needed like a McCaffrey to step up, and he did. So I think he's fine. Don't worry if you have him in fantasy. Spoken like a guy that just traded him. I think McCaffrey will be fine. I think the Panthers will be fine. Again, I think the Panthers could fight for that one of them crazy open ass NFC playoff spots.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are exactly. I don't think they're any worse than I thought they were.
I don't think this game was an indictment of Baker because this was the team and the coaching staff that's been practicing against him for years. So this is a bad matchup for him. He couldn't do. They knew exactly how to stop him. It's not like he's an incredibly versatile quarterback. So it was just the worst matchup he could have.
Yeah, I don't think anyone realized what I was saying. That I don't lower them at all, but that's because I already had them in rat mode.
I think they might be
Well,
able to
I'm
do
not
fine.
that low.
I think they could do. I think they could still be pretty good this year. But that's kind of where I sit with this game. I mean,
I
and
don't know. I think their ceiling is like the 7 seed. Like they could steal that last wild card, but that's like if
no,
everything
that's what
goes right
I
going
agree.
forward.
I 100% agree.
I
But
think
that's
they're
what I'm
still
saying.
pick 10.
Maybe. Definitely maybe. But I mean, like you guys said, running backs get good. Chum and Kareem Hunt will most likely be a fantasy running back pair that you can play every week until Deshaun gets back. And then the receivers are kind of what we thought they'd be, and
Well, I mean, Amari Cooper was, what is it, 5th on that list right there? At least in terms of yards. That's pretty sad.
I think the one that really is like, ooh, baby, maybe this is a little excitement here. Donovan Peoples-Jones.
it kind of makes sense because Donovan Peoples-Jones isn't like, I mean, I guess he's been the number 2 or whatever, but like, I guess him and Brissett maybe got a good relationship in preseason.
Are there only 2 wide receivers that were targeted in this game?
No. Anthony Schwartz is a receiver.
Okay.
So
Is it
3.
Felton? Is Felton the running back or is he a receiver?
I think he's the rookie. The rookie running back.
Yeah, I think you're
The
right.
Joku getting favorite. I looked at one time. It's just he's a weird cat to me, and they paid him. I don't get that. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of this game. Baker didn't get his revenge game. Sad.
Didn't deserve it.
Didn't deserve it. Moving on. Saints, Falcons. Falcons found a
Man,
way
what
to
a game.
blow it again. Blew it again.
Now, honestly, though, if you didn't watch this game, this was one of the most entertaining games I watched, I think, this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Jake was your Mariota pick, not looking bad so far.
I know. The man's the GOAT. Hey, right now, he's outpacing QB 12.
Something wild to say, baby. Something wild to see. Up, what were they up? 20-7, or no, 6. I don't know when they scored that one in the third quarter, but
They were
I don't
up.
know. The Falcons,
Probably not,
the
but they
Falcons blew
shouldn't.
another lead. Mariota, I mean, this is with they blew a lead with Mariota playing well. Cordero Patterson might be repeating, but apparently Damian Williams, I think, was the guy. He got hurt,
Yeah.
and he's kind of like the Mike Davis of last year. So, I mean, Damian's out. Cordero Patterson might be a fucking monster.
I don't know. I mean, even Mike Davis last year was pretty much irrelevant and didn't even take that many carries away.
But that's a lot. I feel like that's a lot more than he would have got. I don't know. That's a lot more.
Yeah, it's more carries than I think Patterson's body can withstand regularly.
Oof. What
But
about
I
Mariota, the
I don't
running
know.
back.
It's a lot of carries for a quarterback.
Rolling down here, the receiving. I mean, I think Drake London played pretty good. Kyle Pitts, his normal disappearing act that he always does, even though, future Hall of Famer. Just wait. Jonah
Good.
knows. He's already got his jacket.
Hey, it was week 1, and early on, pretty beneficial.
33 passes. He got
When do-
targeted 7 times, only caught 2
When
of
do
them.
we worry about Kyle Pitts? I'm asking Jonah. Jake, as long as Pitts is in the league, Jake won't be worried.
I think if next week he has less than 3 catches, it's a dumpster fire. He's already a bust. He can't recover.
He's a bust in terms of what he was projected to be. Not
I
in
think
fantasy, I'm saying
I
in
would
the
even be
league.
concerned. I think both. For fantasy, I would be very.
Oh, I'm scared now.
I would be
if I have him in
panicking.
fantasy.
I'd be panicking next week if he was a bad performance.
Yeah,
But
if-
in
if
real
you're
life,
talking-
I think the Falcons should be very annoyed if he has a bad game next week.
If you're talking fantasy, yes. If you're talking about in terms of what they drafted him and as a player, I think that's a ridiculous take.
I would be annoyed. I'm not saying I would expect him to be a bust.
Well, no,
That
you
just
said he would be a bust if he didn't get 3 catches.
No, I was talking about fantasy.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm perfectly
But-
fine with that. I'm saying we have to remember, whether you thought it was a good fantasy season or not, he had the second best tight end season in NFL history for.
I get it. But this was a game that was like a shootout back and forth. He should have put up more points. He should have like done more.
Wasn't much of a shootout, but
He's
He
a
threw
Hall of-
33 passes.
We're talking about a Hall of Fame tight end.
yeah, but they
and
scored.
those weren't designed runs. Those
Yeah,
were
but
runs
you're
where Mariota ran because nobody was open.
Yeah, but they scored 2 touchdowns, right?
3. No, 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this wasn't a shootout. This was a Falcons team that was struggling to move the ball, but they made good enough plays on defense to play short field position and drive just enough to get into field goal range most of the game.
Man, when I'm
And a
close to
Saints
field goal
team,
range, I look for my big tight
and a
end to
Saints
make big
team
plays.
that couldn't move the ball, and a Saints team that couldn't move the ball in any quarter except for the fourth, short of Taysom Hill just taking one drive completely on his own.
He
This
did
was
do
not,
that. That was the
yeah,
first possession, too.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if first possession. It was their first touchdown. It was their first
Yeah,
touchdown.
but that's what I'm saying. This wasn't an offensive shootout by any metric. This was a bad offensive game by both teams that just in the end looked like a shootout.
Yeah, but Winston felt pain all around, so how can we blame him?
Yeah.
Everywhere hurt.
And then the Saints turned it on in the fourth quarter offensively. They had a good fourth quarter offensively.
Well, yeah, that brings us to Michael Thomas looking like Michael Thomas. I thought he was mentally weak. Maybe
if you want to talk
Pitts is
about a
mentally
guy,
weak.
but to me, if you want to talk about the guy in this game that I'm really worried about in terms of fantasy value and production, it's Alvin.
It's weird, but he always has these weird games.
Well, but like he wasn't successful running the ball, and he wasn't beneficial in the pass game, which you would think, especially when they were down trying to nick away at a lead, you would think this dude would be eating in that pass game where they're just trying to dink and dump down the field.
Alvin
I
Kamara
think
like
Jarvis
super
Landry
weird.
took away a lot of that.
Alvin Kamara is just super weird in week ones. I mean, like we talked about that stat in the fantasy pod. That's like if your running back has 13 or more carries, then chances are he will be pretty good. And Kamara is one of the few guys that hasn't done that. He's done that twice now in week one, and still accomplished whatever, either 1,000 yards or 10+ touchdowns. So I don't know. Kamara just has a bad habit for whatever reason of playing bad in week one.
Kamara is also injured. He has like some nagging thing. I don't remember what it is, but he is injured, and a lot of the passing game role was taken away by Jarvis Landry, getting a bunch of those dink and dunk stuff.
Landry's plays were all downfield.
No, I think he was mostly dink and dunk besides that one big play.
3 of his catches, I think, were 20+.
Look it up.
That's still 4 other catches.
Well, yeah, but that's not 4 catches and dink and dunk is not taking away from Alvin's normal production.
Also, if you have Chris Olave and you're scared that Jarvis Landry's taking it, I think this is a rookie versus a vet early in the season, and they're just gonna pass each other on the. They're both running opposite ways, and they're gonna pass each other in the middle. I think Olave will be good, especially too at the end of that game. Olave was the guy he made like 1 or 2 big catches there at the end in the fourth quarter. So I guess 1 or 2 are most of his catches, but I think he's gonna be fine. But are you looking up the catch, Jake? How are you looking it up on your phone?
I'm not looking anything up.
Oh, okay.
I can't look anything up. You know me.
Okay.
I don't have internet.
We talked about the Saints Falcons. Oh, let's move to the swamp game.
Whoop, whoop.
The game that Jake is claiming the Niners are dead.
No, I don't think it's because of this game. It's because of what I had already thought.
But
this confirmed his bias.
Okay. But before we start, we'll talk about, this was a mosh pit. I think I said it earlier, and when I would talk about this game, I think the rain in the field, I'm throwing this game out. I think the Niners and Bears should both be 0-0. For fantasy, I'm not scared for any of these players on either team.
I take it back. I'm scared of David Montgomery.
I don't know, dude.
Despite all that, Herbert still put up good stats, good efficiency.
They just couldn't move laterally. It was so weird to watch. It was so weird to watch guys
it was very hard to pivot.
When they would run up and down field, they had speed. They had their normal speed, but then if they moved laterally at all, it looked like they were running through mud because they were running through mud. So I don't know. This game, I just throw it out. I mean, Justin Fields made a couple scramble, pulled out of your ass plays, and
that was essentially all it took to win the game.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the other big thing is Elijah Mitchell got hurt. He's out for 2 months probably.
Yeah. He's gonna be out for a while.
I got some hope. I got some more hope for Debo just running the ball more, because he's real good at that. So I don't know why they don't just keep doing that. But
And Trey Lance actually outcarried Mariota.
I have more hope for in terms of the fantasy aspect with waivers for most people going through, and this probably won't come out by then, but anyways, like the waiver stuff, like I think I'd be more happy just being the Debo. I mean, this is kind of like dumb to say, but I'm definitely more confident being the Debo owner than I would be to pick up Jeff Wilson.
You spent a second round pick on him.
No, I get it, but I'm just like, and I'm not really trying. I know that's an obvious statement. I think I'm just trying to point out that I don't think Jeff Wilson's like going to be that good.
I do think the interesting thing here is that Trey Lance is either having 1,000 rushing yards or 10 rushing touchdowns this season.
You're right. I'm probably going with 10 rushing touchdowns, but who knows?
I mean, right now he's on pace, right? What would be, unless he'd probably be a little short, just a little.
But
yeah, 54 times 17 is 918 yards.
But I'm not burning Lance. I'm not burning him down yet. Let me see a week of him in the sunshine and normal weather. Same with Fields, even though he did what he needed to do to win. But
yeah, but that felt more like luck than anything else.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of it was just plays breaking down and I mean, the credit to them, they made the plays and they won the game. Like, the conditions weren't good for either team, but the Bears pulled it out, so.
When do they get credit?
Do what? You said when do they get credit?
Yeah.
When they beat a team in normal weather.
So next week.
If they beat the Packers on Sunday night, I'm giving them I'm in the Bears and I'm gonna accept I'm gonna lose $20 to a coworker because I bet that he bet me that they would get 10 wins. I said it to him today. I said it to him today. I said if you guys beat the Packers on Sunday night, I'm gonna be very scared that you guys might be able to get 10 wins. Because the first 2 weeks are games that I would have never thought they could win.
Yeah.
They beat the Packers. I'll place a $50 bet on them to win the Super Bowl. That's how crazy that would be.
I know, I'd be stunned.
I think I'm going to take them.
Okay, we'll get into that later. Well, let's keep moving. Let's move to the Eagles and the Lions. A barn burner at the end, but not at the beginning. The Eagles jumped out to a big lead. Jalen Hurts and this offense kind of played. They were clicking in the beginning of this game. They really were. I think.
But no, they weren't. They took them a whole quarter to get going. They looked really sloppy. The Lions jumped out to the early lead.
First half.
Well, no, I know, but like it looked actually bad. Like it looked like all the Hard Knocks hype was coming true for the first quarter.
So they had it for the first quarter.
For the first quarter, and then it flipped. And then they're like, oh, we're back in reality.
But then they had it at the end.
Well, the thing that I find interesting about the Lions is they're the same the whole way through the game. They're just as good in the fourth quarter as they are in the first quarter. When like most teams are like, all right, we can take our foot off the gas. We've buried this team. They're just like, nope, we're gonna keep going. And they almost did it. They almost snuck up on them.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts played better than his stat line. I mean, he 18 for 32. You the other day seemed
17 for 90.
Yeah, I mean, he ran the fuck out of the ball. And
I didn't realize how many carries.
Hurts also is gonna break the 1,000 yards or 10 touchdowns.
So
he might lead the league in rushing.
But I think too, Hurts is super unlucky to not have a passing touchdown or two, because A.J. Brown got to like the 1 or 2 on a play. Like that's why like all three running backs got rushing touchdowns, because they were just like short yardage on the goal line and got in because they were just a yard short on a play beforehand. Which I think is just I don't know. The Eagles don't give a damn, but for fantasy owners, sad. Because I'm sure maybe someone played Gainwell. No one played Boston Scott. At least I hope you didn't.
I played him.
Damn, sorry, Jake. A.J. Brown?
I got 8 points off of him. What are you sorry for?
Was A.J. Brown a good first-round pick for him this year? Probably, right? Looked pretty good.
I mean, we always knew he was going to be a good first-round pick for them. We didn't know he was going to be this good, though.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, he looked crazy good. He looked like he didn't lose a step. Hurts. I mean, and the interesting story here is Devontae Smith not having. I mean, I guess Jake was right. Give Jake credit for this week 1
4
credit.
targets, but not a catch.
Any victory laps, Jake, or you just?
What am I getting credit for? Devontae Smith? Not
Yeah.
doing anything? I mean,
Okay.
I'm more just shocked because like AJ Brown did a lot.
13 targets, 10 catches.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out all the training camp rumors of him just being the guy that Jalen Hurts just always wanted to throw to. Turns out those were right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was more shocked.
Nobody
Well,
nobody else got more than 4 targets, and he got
Yeah.
13.
I wasn't big on Devontae. I didn't expect this from that game. Like, I didn't expect Devontae to just nothing. But like I wasn't big on Devontae. I wasn't blown away. But I did not think AJ would be this good for them. Man, maybe it's hey, first week it just happened to fall that way. Maybe it won't be consistent. But I mean, if he plays like this all year, like,
yeah. Switching over to the Lions, I thought Jared Goff was. I mean, at least towards the end of this game, the motherfucker was slinging the ball.
language.
He was slinging the ball. Like, it was wild to see some of those throws at the end, I feel like. I mean, he was putting some dots in there. DeAndre Swift got 2 touchdowns taken away from him and still was a beast in fantasy. Imagine he just gets one more. That's spooky. Amon St. Brown outperforms Bateman week 1. Shocker.
Barely.
DJ Chark surprisingly did good. DJ Chark worthy of a pickup?
DJ Chark had a really good touchdown.
Got
It was
8
one of
targets too.
those nice passes you were talking about from Goff at the end there. He did have 8 targets.
They were down.
I definitely. Yeah, but it's still like it's noteworthy.
They were down, but they still ran the ball fucking 26 times with running backs. Like, definitely interesting.
Yeah, they're not gonna go off though. I mean,
this Amon St. Brown's line. This is basically what he was doing the last like 5 weeks. So I don't know. The Lions are continuously in negative game scripts. I like Lions players for fantasy because they probably would be in negative game scripts. That means Amon St. Brown's gonna get shit ton of targets. DJ Chark might get targets now. Hawkinson will probably play. I mean, that's not great, but you'd hope for. Hopefully, with 7 targets, maybe it gets in the end zone. And I think you owe apology to Swift, Jake, for his week 1 performance.
it was just the explosives.
Or take his 50 yards away. Still had a good week.
Yeah, but the explosive happened early. It's what motivated the rest of the week.
How can someone be negatively impacted by being an explosive player?
It's the copium.
Okay. That was what I was going to say. I forgot to say about the Bears game. I think the Bears game is the copium take for week 1 for Bears fans. The copium take is actually what happens, and that's shocking. That never happens. Bears fans are like, how do we win week 1? A monsoon hits Chicago, and we have to play in 2 inches of standing water. And then it happened, and they won the game. So,
Or also just Trey Lance is the 49ers starting quarterback. That was the other scenario.
I won't stand for Trey Lance slander.
You don't got to stand for it. You can sit down.
Not yet. 1 more week. Next week, if he plays this bad, I'll join you, Jake. But I won't stand for it this week.
Yeah, when he looks exactly the same, and are they home next week? I don't even know.
Probably. I think they play Seattle.
They're home.
They're home. Play Seattle.
Yeah, when he looks exactly the same in sunny California, and you're gonna be like, ooh.
I have no arguments then, Jake. You're right. I can't argue with you. But we move to
Which is a big if that happens.
we're moving to New England, Miami.
He might run better. I'll give you that. There's a good chance he runs better, but it's gonna be a lot of running.
Well, if they win the game, that's Lamar's made a career off of it so far.
Yeah, but Lamar's better.
Whatever copium you want to have, Jake. Whatever. All right, moving to Miami Patriots. Jake's favorite player, Tua Tagovailoa, gets the dub.
Let's go to
The
my
Patriots.
guy.
The Patriots looked like all the sad, sad words that were spoken by the beat writers in the preseason. They looked like the words that were spoken.
The Patriots look like what everyone wanted the Patriots to look like the past decade while Tom was there.
Yeah.
When they were all just like, please, just God, let them suck this year, just so I can feel joy again. That was the Patriots this year.
I think New England's going to be so bad. They'll probably somehow beat us next week, but I still think they're going to be real bad. What do you think of New England, Jonah?
I don't know how they cobble together like 4 wins this year.
Especially like Mac Jones.
Team is so bad.
Are they, Jonah, your lead for #1 pick?
Ooh.
If you had to guess right now?
No, but they're bottom 3 for sure. Ooh.
Do you feel
No,
confident
the Jets are still worse than them. The Falcons are still worse, I think.
Dude, that's wild, the Falcons one. I'm so like,
I don't think the Falcons are good. I think it was just one fluky division game.
I don't even know if I think the Falcons are good, but like the quality of play the Falcons
I also don't think the
showed-
Saints are very good, so I don't think it was really a big competition.
Yeah, you don't have to think either of them are good. The quality, I think just eye test alone, the quality of play you saw in the 2 games was drastically different. Whether you're saying good or not.
I think the Dolphins are a playoff team, and neither the Saints or the Falcons are even close.
Yeah, I'm just saying the eye test. Like, I don't know.
I think a lot of that is stuff that will fix itself. I think their roster is just about the same, like slightly worse weapons than the Falcons, but their defense is better and the coaching staff is better. I think that at some point starts to matter.
But New England looked bad. None of this running back situation for fantasy is not good. The receivers are like, the receiving stuff is like, how are the receivers so fucking bad?
Well, Jacoby Myers looked good. Mac Jones just couldn't get him the ball.
But like, they just don't even have like a kind of guy. Like they don't even have like a kind of guy. Like Christian Kirk for the Jags is a kind of guy. The New England has nothing close to what Christian Kirk will be.
I mean, who do the Dolphins have?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, you're right, Jake. They got the gimmick guy. They got Waddle. What a dumb celebration. Like, you're right, Jake. Cedric Wilson.
They got a backup quarterback.
At least we're all in agreement.
Yeah. No. Tyreek Hill
I
looked good. Waddle also looked good. Mike McDaniel, the fucking balls on a 4th and 7 to throw it to Waddle there, and then Waddle to just house it. That's pretty fucking cool.
Drew, let's just play a game real quick.
Okay.
Is there any Patriots receiver that you would take over Cedric Wilson?
No.
Yeah.
I like Cedric Wilson, so no.
Interesting.
Yes.
Jacoby
I would take Myers.
I would
take Myers.
Argue, but somehow the motherfucker just has some demon on his back that doesn't allow him to score touchdowns. So, give me fucking Cedric Wilson.
Jake, how many Patriots receivers would you take over him?
I take the injured rookie that got hurt.
Most of them, I think.
Most of them?
Yeah, I think I would take 4 of them. I think I'd take Jacoby, Kendrick, Nelson, and Devontae.
Well, you're not the Dolphins because the Dolphins let Devontae leave.
Yeah,
they specifically traded him away because they like Cedric more.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting, Jake, that you hate Tua and yet they fucking proved you wrong today.
I don't hate Tua. I like Tua.
Jake, come on.
I love Tua. I don't think he's very good.
You're not a Tua truther like me and Jonah. We'll be standing, holding his hands up in the air when he's got the MVP belt around his waist.
If he won MVP, I would actually be pretty ecstatic. I'd be like, let's go.
No, I don't. You can't be ecstatic for him if he wins MVP.
Okay. I'll be sad that the guy I
You
like
need
won.
to. No, that's bullshit. You can't play both sides. This is horseshit. Jonah, I need you to jump in. Don't allow Jake to play both
I'm
sides
just so
of the coin.
perplexed by Jake in this moment where he's
He
just like,
can't-
he's such a terrible player, but I like the guy.
You can't play both
And
sides
so
of the
he's
fucking
now-
coin.
Like, I don't understand what this whole thing. Like,
No,
You
more
told me there's never been a player
gaslighting,
that
more
you like
gaslighting.
you're telling me there's never been a guy in the league that you either liked as a guy but not as a player, or liked as a player but not as a guy. You're telling me you were like, man, OJ Simpson, what a player.
But it's about how much you don't like him.
I really like him as a person. I do not think he is a good quarterback.
But you think he's so bad that the Dolphins are rat.
Well, not just him. I also think they're not a great team.
We'll see. Who do they play next week?
No, they're upper end of that. Also, that might be. It also might
They
be.
play the
adjusted
Ravens.
play.
Ooh, that's a big
That-
game for them.
They get a good test next week.
We'll talk about the Ravens.
Speaking of the Ravens, yeah.
The Ravens
That's-
played. The Ravens and the Jets played in this. Probably, I was gonna be mean to Jonah, but they played in the worst game this weekend. In a fun weekend, they played the worst game.
I disagree.
I would say the only thing that you could argue makes this game worse than the Cowboys game is Joe Flacco throwing 59 passes.
I feel bad for him. He's probably so sore.
Do you think he's still icing?
He has to be. There's no way.
You think they just put him to sleep in an ice bath or something? Like, just stay here till next.
I mean, the fact that this is 24-9 is funny because if you would have been like, Drew, Flacco's gonna throw 59 times, I'd be like, oh my god, did they lose by 100? Like what? And he only threw for 307 yards. Like that's just QBR 15.4.
5.2 average yards.
That's so brutal.
Lamar only averaged 7.1.
Yeah, but Lamar had a very bad passing game. He barely completed like 58% of his passes.
I'm pretty sure 2 of his touchdowns too were on like just deep ass bombs.
Yeah, but one to Levy and one to Bateman.
I mean, I don't know. The Ravens do what they need to do to win. They don't have Dobbins right now. They just need to get dubs.
But they got Kenyon Drake. So exciting.
I mean, Lamar only running 6 times is interesting.
Well, I heard some talk about that, and the speculation is that it's because it's a contract year and he doesn't have his new deal. He doesn't want to get hurt. But I think that's going to go away. I think he's going to fall back on old habits.
There's no way. I mean, like when you play like that, I feel like you're more likely to get hurt, and you're also gonna play bad because you're not playing the same way.
You ain't playing full speed.
Exactly. Thanks, Coach Jake. Thanks, Coach Skolaski.
Hey, Jake, your guy, he caught 2 passes.
Yeah.
Demarcus Robinson.
Oh,
Let's go. He's coming for the dude. I don't know how the Raiders are this smart. They got him on the Ravens so he could play a few weeks and be like, okay, but not great, so that they could then bring him back, and then they're gonna look like geniuses when he wins MVP for them.
Interesting. He's gonna have a lot of catching up to do, though. I just wish
Well, yeah.
Bateman would have not gotten that 50-yard catch, and then he would have had such a dog shit day.
Why do you want that?
Because I want to win our bet.
I don't remember any bet.
Okay, I mean, it's fine with me. Fucking written down, bro.
It is. I wrote it.
That podcast made it. It made the cutting floor.
That one got in. Our other ones, maybe not. That one, it's out there.
Okay, I'm done talking about the Ravens and Jets. I got bored.
What do you mean? We got to talk about all of the things that happened in that game.
I mean, shit. It's so sad that this Commanders Jags game is more interesting to talk about.
Also,
It was a
I'm
pretty
mad about this one. The wrong team won this game. I'll say it.
I just disagree.
Jake,
know
I
you
agree
would.
with you. I mean, like, I don't know. How do you say I just disagree? The Jags left 10 points on the board.
On like the stupidest stuff too. Like, man, the easy dump to ETN on 4th down where we just walk. You just walk into the end zone.
Bad
Go
quarterback,
to-
bad running back.
That drop by ETN is worse than the Watson drop by the fucking Packers guy. Like, I swear. That ETN can't be the type of player he is to just have such a wide open catch and just completely drop it. At least Watson was like running on the move, deep bomb, probably got excited. ETN, no excuse.
Yeah.
Dog shit. Cut him.
I was blown away.
You should trade him to me
Blown
then, Jake.
Ooh.
As punishment to him, of course.
The Jags are the better team. For sure. I don't care what anyone says.
I do wish the Jags would have got this game.
Also,
but
I just don't even understand your whole Trevor Lawrence playing bad thing. Like, Trevor Lawrence played really good this game.
No, he did not play really good. He 100% did not play really good. He had a few really good throws. He had a few really bad throws, and his receivers let him down.
So did Wentz. Wentz had some bad throws.
I mean,
Yeah, but
let me put it this
Carson
way.
Wentz is Carson Wentz. He
Let me-
statistically had a cool game, but he didn't have like. Nobody's trying to argue that Carson Wentz is a tremendous quarterback.
I am.
Let me put it this way. He outplayed Wentz without his receivers catching the balls they should have caught.
Okay, you're wrong. I don't know how you could.
I mean, in what metric?
What do you mean without them? So you're saying if everybody caught every pass thrown to them?
What I'm saying is, if Zay Jones doesn't drop the one in the end zone, that should be a routine catch for a receiver.
Okay, that still doesn't make his performance better.
I mean, he's adding. If you add the drops in, he's adding like 50 yards and like 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, silence. Trevor should
Maybe. I mean, I'm trying to remember how many drops there were. I mean, I think both those drops were on the same drive.
The Zay Jones and ETN one were, yes.
Yeah,
He would
those are the
score
2
both.
touchdowns.
Yeah, I was saying in general, they would have been so much more productive on offense if they just caught the balls that hit them in the hands.
Okay, I mean, this is still the fault of the Jaguars. The Jaguars as a whole team are bad at receiver.
Yeah, I'm not saying
How dare
anything.
you.
We're talking about the.
You've been saying the Jaguars are the better team this whole time.
Well,
They're
they
just
are.
not.
They are.
Jones, stop defending your NFC brethren.
Yeah.
Brethren?
I know they're leading your division right now, so you have to be a homer for that.
No. Everybody is leading the division except for the Cowboys.
Well, so they
In
are.
fact,
also-
actually, the Eagles are because the Eagles have the most points scored.
I have the true question of this game is how did James Robinson? Why was he was he 7th round pick, undrafted, whatever he was?
Undrafted.
How did that happen?
There was no combine that year.
Because regardless of him being a good running back, this motherfucker tore his Achilles, and the dude is still a beast.
The
How does
Taurus
that-
Achilles and coming back is hilarious.
How does that fucking work? How did someone let a genetic monster go undrafted? Jake's silent. I think Jake hates James Robinson.
I don't hate James.
Why are you
I
trying
just
to trade him?
we've seen that so many times.
Achilles?
Huh?
We haven't seen Achilles that many times.
Oh no, but that stuff's getting fixed. That stuff's becoming easier and easier because of like modern medicine.
I'll bet to Cam Akers.
Yeah, honestly.
And Makers came back super fast too.
Yeah, but he came back as like a pedestrian dude.
Yeah, this is the wild. Like, Cam Akers didn't come back bad. Cam Akers just came back.
Cam Akers was
terrible
terrible
time.
last year.
Yeah, because he played the 2 of the best 3 rush defenses in the NFL in his 2 games back. He wasn't bad because he was playing bad. He was explosive if you watch those games. They just couldn't do anything because they played the freaking Bucks, 49ers, and Bengals. Like, okay, cool. He didn't have the best games against 2 of the best 3 rush defenses in the league. Like, yeah, okay.
But then why did he play bad against the Bills? And then all of camp to not
To
earn
me,
a
that
starting
sounds
role.
like it. To me, right now, it sounds like that part of it is a work ethic thing. That's what it sounds like.
How did we get from trying to praise James Robinson to defending dog shit Cam Akers?
Jonah brought it up.
We didn't. Jake did.
Jonah brought Cam Akers into it.
Jake,
All I
Because
said is
if you're gonna
Because
shit
you're
on
saying that
James
Achilles
Robinson,
injuries are easy to come back from.
they are now. They're a lot easier now than they were 3-4 years
all right,
ago.
let me cut your Achilles in.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that to you, Jake. That'd be mean.
I mean, they created that's the whole thing. It was a dude out in California figured it out for Army vets, but it's called it's blood flow therapy restriction. BFTR, is that right? I think that's not what it
I
is.
don't fucking know.
Blood flow restrictive therapy. BFRT, is that right?
Okay.
But all they've been using.
We're getting
it
into
to-
the weeds.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
but-
praise James Robinson, and Jake's just shitting all over him.
No, I like James Robinson.
You
But
need to trade him
all I'm
now,
saying is,
if
like,
he's
you
bad.
were like, how does this happen? And I was saying, this happens all the time with running backs because they're bad at their jobs. They overdraft running backs that shouldn't, and then they spend stupid money on the and then they don't draft guys that probably should be drafted.
I'm happy for James Robinson, even though Jake's not. That's my final statement. Also, how did James Robinson just completely steal Etienne's Maybe if Etienne could have scored twice if he just caught that first one, because then he would have been in when James Robinson scored. Christian Kirk, my fantasy sleeper, did exactly what I thought he would do. I'm so happy.
And
How do you help your
half
team?
his targets.
Huh?
How do you help your fantasy team?
He helped me in my one league. Don't come at me, Jake.
Are you gonna kill Cam?
Huh?
Are you gonna kill Cam?
How's Tony working out for you?
Great.
That's not true.
Keeping that
I mean-
bench real warm.
We'll make if you want to make another pick with Tony versus Kirk, I'm all ears.
I guarantee you, Tony plays less snaps.
I'll probably Jake. I can't take you up on that one. I'm sorry.
See, so you're not.
Man, a
willing to-
unanimous opinion. That's crazy.
All right,
Watch. It would be real funny now if like Tony took like every snap this next game.
let's talk about the commies. Carson Wentz, we already kind of mentioned him. Antonio Gibson got poor Robinson shot, and look, he's getting to play
He
ball.
looked
now.
good.
He's looking good. 7 catches, 72 yards.
No fumble.
That's wild too, because McKissick just. They said fuck McKissick. And then Scary Terry. Just having a Scary Terry game where he just saves his shit with a fucking long touchdown. I'm so out on Scary Terry as a fan. Not as he's a good player, but not. I'm so out on him as a. I'm out on him as like whatever. What was it? Top 10 receiver that all the Commanders fans were saying like a year or two ago. I'm out on that.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely out on him in fantasy. But he wasn't the story of this game. The story of this game was Curtis Samuel coming out of nowhere.
Curtis Samuel.
Dude was a beast. He was just like their short yardage guy, and Carson Wentz and him were just.
They just love him.
I mean-
Carson Wentz is in love with him.
And then the second story was the rookie playing as good as he did. 2 big touchdowns too. So I don't know. Maybe the commies have a little bit of an offense.
The commies.
Chase Young will come back eventually when they're not mad at him.
Yeah, as long as there's no more Von Miller camps.
I don't know. He might be done.
Who you mean Chase Young for the year?
He just retires.
I hope not.
Be wild though.
It wouldn't be wild. But I think the closing statements are commies look better than I thought, and Jags look. I think they were good, and they should have
The
won.
Jags
this
are still the Jags.
Nope, I don't agree with that take.
I don't understand how you could watch that game and think the Jaguars looked good.
So the difference is we watched the game.
No, Drew didn't.
I watched the highlights. It's enough for me to know. And
I
so also, you know
watched.
what is enough? Another thing too that I still think the Jags are fine is the fucking AFC South is still wide the fuck open because of this game.
No, but see that they have to play the NFC East.
That's great for them.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
not. The rest of the division's good. They get the
They
Cowboys
just
a
played
free
the
win,
best team
but
in the division. What do you mean? They just
no, they
played the
played the
best team in
second
that
best team.
garbage
The
division.
Jags will go 3-1 in the rest of the NFC East.
The Jags are flirting with 0-4 against the NFC East.
3-1 or 2-1?
What?
You said against the rest of the NFC East.
Well, I'm saying I just meant.
So,
the
like,
whole
do you think they're
total.
going
I
to
meant their
sweep
total
everyone
record.
else?
I meant the total. I thought that was
So you
pretty
think they sweep?
explanatory because I clearly know there's 4 teams in every division. But
Yeah. Well, so you think they sweep, though, then?
Who's remaining is what he's saying.
Like, you think they're going to beat the Eagles? Like, I don't think they beat the Eagles.
I'm balls
but-
deep in the Jags.
Dang.
When do they play? Hopefully they play like the last week.
Week 18.
Well, let's talk about this game. Texans Colts. What do you guys think? This was kind of a boring game, and the fact that it's a tie is even more boring.
It's a game. It's a game that like It's one of those games where like I'm disappointed that a football game is 60 minutes because the Texans should have just come away with the win. The Colts just getting so much late because they finally remembered how to play football.
I'm pissed the Texans lost this game. They should have won.
Yeah, they should have. And then Matt Ryan, it's just like Flacco. Matt Ryan should not have to throw 50. Matt Ryan with Jonathan Taylor. How does Matt Ryan throw 50 times and Jonathan Taylor has 31 carries? Wasn't this game crazy? Didn't the Colts have like a crazy amount of first downs? 33. Oh no. But I don't know. This game's just so. This game was weird.
What's crazy is like you just give him the ball 31. Like let the man have a break.
And then Pittman still did well, but I mean, I guess they played like I mean, they tied, so they played as long a game as they physically could have. Yeah, I don't know. Pittman and Taylor, your big fantasy guys for the Colts, played good. The Colts still clearly have who's the second guy receiver.
It's Naheem Hines.
They still have, they still clearly have a problem. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the rookie did drop a touchdown where he was just standing there in the end zone and dropped it. That was pretty bad.
Oof,
Alec Pierce.
that's not good.
Davis Mills solidifying himself as the best quarterback in the division.
Jonah, stop. Jonah, don't hate Trevor Lawrence because we like the Jags.
I don't hate Trevor Lawrence. I don't think it's going to be true forever. I think it's just true right now.
I mean, you definitely hate Trevor Lawrence, but
no, I hate how much you guys like Trevor Lawrence at this moment and just suck the Jaguars' dick.
What if they win next week? What if they beat the Colts next week?
I mean, the Texans almost beat the Colts, and I'm not high on the Texans either.
Well, someone's got to win this fucking division.
I think we're just wrong on the Colts.
I'm really confused on this whole not high on the Colts. Like, y'all put them in playoff team or playoff hopeful or something.
I acknowledge that I was wrong with the Colts. The Colts right now, if they don't fix things, they're going to be a lot worse than I thought.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm the only one that said at the start of this year when we were doing this one, I got a lot of hate from people that I said this division is wide open.
Yeah, but you made it sound like it was wide open because you thought everybody was going to be good. I think it's going to be wide open.
No,
wide
I
open
did not.
because
No, I did not.
yes, you did.
I said the winner might win the whole thing with like 7 games.
I don't think that'll happen. I don't think the team should be allowed in the playoffs if they have 7 wins.
I know, but I said
in a
17-game
season.
Whoever wins this division might be a negative record, but they might win the division.
All right, let's keep moving through these, okay? We're getting distracted. Dameon Pierce pulled the wool over everyone's eyes.
Nah, it's a long con.
There should be no long con. They were up 20-3.
No, it's just Lovie Smith being an old man
and then
not trusting his young guys yet.
Give the ball to your big guy and let him run the fucking clock.
They're playing you guys like a fiddle. This is what
They're
want.
They're playing themselves.
I mean, the thing for me is that Dameon Pierce only played like 19 snaps and got the ball on, what was it, 13 times? Because he also got no, like actually he got some catches.
I think 11 carries and 1 catch.
It was 1 catch, yeah. So 12 times in 19 snaps. I mean, when they brought him into the game to use him. I think it's just a matter of time before he takes over.
I didn't like the comment too of Lovie Smith being like, excuse me, sorry. I didn't like the comment of them being like, well, the game script showed that we needed to play Rex Burkhead. What the fuck do you mean it showed that? You guys were up 20-3 going into the fourth quarter. That's
He
not.
wrote the
what?
game script.
You don't.
No, it's
you
game.
don't.
He's not, Drew. You're not listening. He's telling you it's the game script he got from the NFL.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they said that they had to have. There has to be one white running back.
You don't
Got
game script fucking 4 quarters, Jonah. You game script maybe a drive or 2 in the beginning of the game.
Got it.
You don't even. You game script like your opening 10.
Yeah. Then just like Dameon Pierce.
No, but the personnel, it's a personnel decision.
And it's a bad
Game
one.
script
That's what I'm
doesn't. Game
saying.
script doesn't dictate whether or not which running back you put in there. That's
It
your
should.
personal decision.
If Dameon Pierce is a bigger bruiser back, and you want to run the clock down by getting chunk like
No, I know. I'm
medium chunk
I'm
runs.
saying his excuse is bullshit. And there was nothing that should have made him choose Burkhead over Pierce.
Okay, Brandon Cook's still the
I
same
mean,
guy.
I don't know. If you're trying to run tower, you want Rex Burkhead in there or Dameon Pierce?
You're right.
Exactly. You want Driscoll.
I think my copium take is this is just how the NFL is. It's always dumb. And by next week, everyone's going to be realizing, oh, no, it's Dameon Pierce. Then they're just weird.
I mean, if Rex Burkhead has this type of usage next week and the week after, I think Dameon Pierce is droppable. This dude had fucking, what is that, 20, oh my back is, yeah, he had 22 fucking, 22 options to touch the ball and on a play.
Chances, yeah.
He came away with 19 of them. Like, give me away from him. I have him in
The
one
idea
league.
that Rex Burkhead should ever have 19 touches in a game is mind-boggling, but
I'm so angry that game.
oh, baby. This
Dan-
one. I'm excited
Danny
about this.
Dimes. Oh wait, no, he wasn't there.
Man, I wanted to just straight take the Giants money line, and I didn't have the balls to do it. And that bothers me now. I am upset with myself.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Tennessee looked fine the majority of this game until they didn't look fine. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but they just never did anything they normally do very well.
I mean, look at Derrick Henry.
Yeah, like they didn't run the ball very well.
But the guy on the other side did pretty good.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, I'm healthy," just in case y'all
40 fewer
forgot.
catches for exactly twice as many yards.
I hope I hope at this point Saquon stays healthy.
Yeah, I like a healthy Saquon. I missed the old Saquon.
He's very entertaining to watch. They still have a fat receiver problem. Maybe if they just use Kadarius Toney, maybe they wouldn't. But they hate him or something. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the logic is anymore. For him.
Look at Galladay getting 2 catches.
Big boy.
The mannequin.
Kadarius Toney, I guarantee, averaged the most yards per snap out of anyone on that field.
Isn't that more than Saquon?
Oh, per snap for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake chose a ridiculous metric to prove a point.
He did have 11.5. But...
Well,
No. He doesn't even
that's
just mean
not-
average per touch. He means per snap.
yeah, I'm saying
Per
snap,
play he
not
was on the field.
I feel like that's okay.
It's incredibly useless.
Well,
I mean, he probably didn't even outdo Hilliard. Hilliard had those catches, averaged 20.3.
Yeah, Hilliard had like a crazy fantasy day because of his catches.
the double touchdowns.
Pick him up, all your fab, use your waiver pick, everything you have.
Henry's washed. It's Hilliard's role.
If you took a fucking
His job
flyer
to
on Robert Woods, drop him. Pick somebody up. Pick up Kurt Samuel.
Pick up Kyle Phillips.
It's crazy though, because Robert Woods, that
Kyle
catch
Pitts is the other rookie,
happened.
right?
Robert Woods'
Yeah.
catch happened pretty early in that game, and it looked like it was going to be an issue. Like it looked like they were going to feed him, and then he just never got the ball.
And then yeah, I don't know. Tennessee, because of what we're saying, what's wrong with them, and then Giants just put their put their nuts on the table as a team and went for two and sent them
I
home.
honestly think the issue is
Saquon pretty much single-handedly won this game at the end.
Yeah, I don't feel confident in the Giants as a team, but Saquon might have a year.
I don't know. I think the Giants are
No.
I think the Giants are in it for this division.
The Eagles are so much better team
The
than
The
Giants.
Eagles are gonna run away with this division, and
I
it
mean, I
won't
think
take long.
I don't necessarily. I think the Eagles should, but like, if any team's coming out of this division that isn't the Eagles, to me, it's the Giants.
I mean, Drew and I have already stated that we disagree with that.
The Eagles
We
are
think
gonna win.
the
Eagles
Commies
are
are better
winning.
than the Giants.
Eagles are winning 12 plus games if they stay healthy. They're
Yeah,
gonna probably sweep this division, honestly.
Yeah.
No, they'll lose. They'll lose a dumb
I
game.
mean, they'll lose, but
They'll lose
like,
one
you
dumb
gotta,
game,
like,
and it'll probably be to
yeah,
Washington.
this is their first game with a new staff, and they're figuring out all their kinks and stuff. And clearly, there's plenty of things for them to fix. But they were able to win a gritty ground game
But
against
the Titans got a lot worse.
against the best gritty ground team in the league.
They just have no receiver options at all.
100%. But my point being is the Giants, a new offense, new system, new everything, just beat the best gritty ground team in the NFL. One of the two best. 49ers would be the only other one in consideration. Just beat that team by beating them with how they play.
Yeah, but like, it's good that they beat the Titans, but in terms of them like winning the NFC East, like at some point their teams are gonna go. You have literally no receivers that we have to guard. We're just gonna stop Saquon.
Well, yeah, and I mean some of that's the if you don't adjust and use the guys you have, like obviously we've talked about it enough, but if you don't use the talent you have on your team, yes, then they won't get any better. But if they're gonna open up the offense a bit and use those guys and find ways to get guys on the field that they should, I think this team can get significantly better than they are.
But
And then I
they're
can see
just
them.
not going to do it though.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
Well, we'll see.
You got a lot more copium for the Giants than either of us.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to gimmick players, like some of the guys they have, there's always a growing process for coaches who haven't had that before. Like because you're sitting there and you're like, this guy isn't like a typical guy. Like, how do I find ways to use them? And it's like, hey, it's not. Well, we don't need to find ways to use them. But like sometimes there are just those guys that, hey, you got to find a way to use them. They're that good.
Okay, well, let's move to this game. Packers-Vikings. Time for me to take my victory lap. I told you the fucking Vikings. They're winning this division. This is theirs. This game shows me that it's theirs to lose.
No, this is just like last year. Aaron Rodgers comes out, has a dud of a first game, and then goes out and wins MVP.
It wasn't even
He's
Aaron Rodgers.
He's gonna have it 3 seasons in a row. The team will rebound. It's okay. Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers alone didn't lose them that game to the Saints last year. The whole team looked like ass.
But Aaron looked specifically bad last year. Aaron didn't look bad today as much as like Aaron looked fine. The pick that he threw the Cobb was just like I mean it was essentially a punt, but like still weird. But like his receivers let him down. The defense just came in with the game plan of hey, we're gonna let Justin Jefferson beat us, and you know what? He beat him. He beat him by his fucking self. Like what? The Packers, I don't know. They're gonna beat the Bears, and we'll probably be on this pod next week overreacting how the Packers are back, but I'm all in on the Vikings.
I think we're already overreacting to one game from the Packers. I think this is cool for the Vikings. It means the Vikings are solidly in the playoff race.
You're comparing the Bucks you're comparing the Bucks of last year to the Vikings of this year?
Wait, what?
Like if you're saying like last year, that was the team that they lost to, the Bucks, right?
No, in week 1 they lost to the Saints. It was a fluke game.
I thought it was the Bucks.
No.
Fluke game.
No, the bad game against the Bucks was like 2 years
bad
ago.
game against the Bucks was like week 4.
That was 2 or 3 years ago.
When did he have 1 point? Was that against the Saints?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. I'm still all in the Vikings. Fuck it.
I think he was right. I kind of, as the week went on, I kind of sided with him more and more. And I even said when we started watching, this was dumb of me. I should have picked the Vikings. I was like, I knew I was wrong when I picked the Packers on this one. Like by the first drive, I was like, this was dumb of me. So I mean, I'm kind of with you, Drew. I think they're winning this division. They're the better team.
That's a big flip. You didn't like the Vikings much when we talked about them in the tier.
Yeah, and I don't know. I was just
Drew and I were
slowly.
both talking about how much we like their defense, and you shit on them.
And
Yeah,
their defense looked good.
Man, Zadarius Smith is mad at the Packers.
That dude's a fucking monster.
He's a monster, and he is very annoyed with how they treated him.
And then Kirk Cousins, this 277, 2 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins, if this game was close, Kirk Cousins could have finished with like 400 yards. Like they coasted so hard in the second half. Like the fact that this game is 23-7 is like, it's nice to the Packers. I feel like the Vikings could have like ran this score up. I think all the hype of the Vikings running a faster offense you saw in the first half. The guy, what's the guy? Who's the guy? What's the guy's name? The new head coach. Someone Google it.
It's Kevin O'Connell.
Oh yeah, all the hype too of like Justin Jefferson preseason, which I thought was so bullshit. His comment of like, "Oh, I get how Cooper Kupp was so open." Through week 1, I also get how Cooper Kupp was so open.
Things were bad. There were catches where Justin Jefferson made like a cut because he thought he was about to get overtaken, and there was nobody there. He was so wide open that he was expecting defenders and trying to juke out players that weren't there.
And I don't want to take credit away from him because there's also a lot of plays where you go and watch of him just destroying Alexander on plays. Just absolutely running a perfect route, and Alexander has like 2 yards. He gets 2 yards of separation on him. Who Alexander's a good corner. What's his first name? He's like
Jair.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I don't know. If
I'd have to look at that again because I think the Packers ran a lot of zone, and so I don't know that it was entirely Alexander's fault.
Yeah, I think
we can look at clips after the pod.
Yeah.
There's plenty. I saw a bunch of Twitter clips today.
I would say before I crucify him though, I would like to see that because I think they ran a lot of zone.
I saw a lot of the ones posted. I think people were saying like he turned outside. It's a man. That's like, it's true. Like yes, that's your fundamental rule when you're talking high school football, and like that's not true once you're college level and up. It's not fundamentally outside turn, inside turn tells you main zone. It's different. Well, like the one I saw where he works outside and then he hits the drop dig across, and he's wide open. It was clear cut zone. Now he turns out with him, but that's because he was jobbed. It was in a tight bunch look, so his job is to widen him off the initial to try to throw off timing. So he widened with him, so he turns out to widen with him, and then he cut back in, and then he leaves him. He steps with him for about 2 steps and then stops. And I couldn't really tell. I don't know if it was the safety was supposed to fill, or if the backer got drawn in by play action. I don't know what happened on that because of the angle, because there was a huge opening in the middle.
Yeah. Well, Dalvin still played good.
None of that was to take anything away from Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson had an amazing game.
Justin
Yeah,
Jefferson
you guys hate him.
tore them apart.
You guys are shitting on him. It's fine.
But
this
I
is
think
Cooper Kupp last season all over again, and he's gonna put
some of the hate.
Justin Jefferson is gonna put his fat cock in both y'all's mouths.
I mean,
I'm telling you right now,
Nope.
He's going to be the best receiver in the league.
Open wide, baby.
He could be the Triple Crown winner.
I think the only other storyline here is Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon kind of, sort of working out. AJ Dillon got this better this week.
The interesting thing is AJ Dillon got twice as many carries and more catches.
I'm also pretty sure LaFleur said that he was like, I don't know how that happened. So take that how you will.
Man, I had not looked at this. I did not realize how this stat production of AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones played out. But wow, man.
You're starting to get why I traded Aaron Jones just now?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit at least. But I will say, to me, like I always ride like, who was hotter? And to me, this looks like Aaron Jones was hotter.
I don't know. AJ Dillon looked good every time he touched the ball, though.
Yeah, I mean, it
Except
doesn't
for the
look like
time he
either
got
struggle.
destroyed by fucking.
It doesn't look like either
By
struggle,
Sedarius.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I would think Aaron Jones gets more work in the future based off that.
I really think
I
they
think
should
they
just
just
go to the
both.
point where it's like Jones should just catch the ball all the time, and then.
But
Jalen-
that game was blacked out for me though, so I didn't.
Yeah, but Dylan's not even bad at that. Dylan's pretty good at that. It's
Alright.
hard to argue that either one of those running backs shouldn't be on the field.
All right, let's move to this game, boys. It's not much to talk about in this game, really.
Yeah, I mean
Mahomes,
Patrick
this is all Mahomes.
Mahomes and the Chiefs took advantage of the worst secondary in the league, and they did a real good job of it.
I think the Chiefs struggled quite a bit.
Okay, elaborate.
Nah,
No elaborating. We don't need any more. The Chiefs are insane. I think I would put them on the Bills level right now, and the Cardinals might slip into Ratbird for me. I don't know.
I don't think I would put them on that level. I think the Chiefs are very good, so don't get me wrong. But to me, this was more how bad the Cardinals are right now than how good the Chiefs were.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they scored 44 points, and I feel like again another flattering line for the
Yeah.
for the
But
Chiefs. But
going into the fourth, it was 37-7. Is that right?
yeah,
So, like, my point is, like, the Cardinals did nothing on offense when the game meant anything.
but why is that the case? Like,
Well, like they had Marquise Brown, and that was it at receiver.
I mean, yeah, everyone. I've heard we just wait for Hopkins to come back, and I think Hopkins has been
Well, they didn't even have
bad the
Rondale
last
Moore.
few years, or especially like last year specifically. So
I mean, he
And
definitely
Rondale
was.
Moore
Green.
definitely hurts them. Not having him definitely hurts them.
AJ Green.
Yeah, they've got their over the hill AJ Green that they can't figure out how to use right.
They got their fat over the hill, not physically, just like he's really, really over the hill. But
Tell me how AJ Green's even remotely over the hill. He's in his prime, baby.
he's in his prime, baby. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else to say? I don't feel like there's not even that many more interesting storylines here. Like, I guess the receivers for the Chiefs, but everyone kind of did good. Kelsey's Kelsey. Juju even did pretty good besides his like fumble. I think he fumbled twice.
MVS, I think, is one. I think MVS is the one you're probably the most pleased with, and opens up the interesting topic of like, does Rodgers not use average guys well enough? Because like,
MVS is 4 for 44. Is that interesting to you?
It's the most impressive to you?
Not the most impressive, but like, dude, you watch his games with the Packers. He had so many games where he was just a distraction. Like where you would be like, please get 4 catches.
I would love to know when these MVS catches were. That'd be something.
That's true too. Like I said, this was another one I didn't watch because it was blacked out in my area. So
I don't know. Give me another week of MVS before we can talk about him because I don't agree with it. A 4 for 44 stat line in a blowout.
No, it isn't great. It's just interesting to me because he doesn't do a whole lot usually. Like that's more than what he normally did for the Packers.
Well, you did have some guy that got 15 targets or on Sunday too. They used to play near him.
Well, yeah, but here he's option number 4.
Theoretically, this is just as good of a game as Hunter Renfrow had.
I mean, he's option number 3, really.
Is he 3? You think?
Yeah. They threw to Juju 8 times. And this was when Juju was fumbling the ball just like he did with us.
Yeah, I said 4.
Yeah, what are you saying? Like Hardman's above him?
Oh, I thought you said 3.
Yeah, I would say Kelsey, Juju, and then I would say, I mean, I guess you would have to give him 3. I was gonna say, I'm not looking at it, but I was gonna say Clyde. You probably get Clyde the ball more, but maybe not.
All right, Jonah, take your victory lap about the pussy.
Oh yeah, okay.
I took one for the Vikings. You can take one for the pussy.
Yeah, he got dick down.
All right, nice. All I'll say about this game is the Chargers are good, and Jake didn't ride with the Raiders.
I rode with the Raiders exactly how I did on the thing. I like the Raiders, but I said all along the Chargers are better.
I've never been gaslit so hard in my whole entire life.
I don't know.
I have nothing to say.
There's a difference between saying the Raiders are going to make the playoffs and saying they're going to win the division or be better than the Chargers.
Whatever false narratives you want to spin too, Jonah. I know you're against me
You
as well.
bet you literally put money on the Chargers to win the AFC.
They can lose a fucking game, Jonah. I didn't say they're gonna win the AFC and win every fucking game. I'd probably make a lot more money if I did that. I just know where Jake stands with his fucking picks. He just says shit. And I'm absolutely positively nothing to say. Won't say anything. Take over, Jake. What do you think about this game?
I don't know. Give me 2 seconds.
1, 2.
All right. I just wanted to do this just to relay my point a little bit. I'm sorry about this. This is a 2-second thing, but this was the MVS thing. This is why I wanted to. So, just how many games do you think in MVS's 4 years with the Packers? How many games do you think he had 4 catches in? And playing 16 games a season for 4 years.
Was he healthy? Was he healthy all 4 seasons?
Yeah, I didn't notice any injuries missing. If he missed, it was like a game or 2 most.
2.
You need more than that, but it's like 48 games.
12.
I'm not very interested because he played with the best receiver in football. He played with the best receiver in football with Lazard, and then he also played with Robert Tonyan, who had a good season in there, and then he also played with Aaron Jones.
Yeah, the most 4-game catch games he's ever had in a season is 4. So that's why I was like, oh, this is interesting to me. But like I said, sorry, that's really off topic. It stuck with me. That's why I was like, whoa, 4 catches for him is a lot compared to what he's used to. For especially week 1. But this game, sorry about that. That was just ADHD kick in. I mean, this went basically how I thought, except I don't know. Actually, I wouldn't even say except. I mean, it basically went how I thought. I said I like the Chargers. The Chargers were my favorite in this division as a whole. So I like the Chargers. Even with liking the Chargers, I talked about how I don't love Eckler this year for fantasy's sake. And
Eckler did real bad.
Yeah, and to me it looks just like what I said. Like I like the team. I didn't love Eckler being a top 5 draft pick in fantasy. I was like, I don't want to use him. That's why in the one league where I had a top 5, I went with Cooper Kupp instead.
You hate him though.
That's true. I didn't think about that. DeAndre Carter was the big takeaway for me on this one. I felt like he had a good game. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I think sad that Keenan got hurt. He's probably be out a week, probably 2. Yeah. I think Joshua Palmer will probably step into that secondary role, and Mike Williams has to do better than you pay him and then throw it to him 4 times.
I think the DeAndre Carter thing speaks more to Herbert's ability to just make do with whatever they throw out there for him.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter how good his receivers are, because Keenan went out and he was still getting it to everybody. It doesn't look like statistically, it doesn't look like he lost a beat.
It was sad too, because Keenan was absolutely fucking dominating the Raiders when he was playing.
What Keenan is good at is spacing, awareness. Keenan's not a better athlete than most of
No, but football IQ matters a lot.
Oh, 100%. But what I'm saying is they're 2 very different things. Keenan's so unstoppable because of football IQ and route running and all that, versus Justin Herbert can make any good athlete be a good receiver. But Keenan's a great receiver, and that's the difference. So losing Keenan hurts, but Herbert's going to be able to do stuff with these other guys because they're really good athletes. And but they're doing completely different things than what Keenan does.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I would like. Can we go down to the defense real quick for the Chargers? Because I would like to just point out something that was really sad for me. Yeah, that.
I'm happy you're owning up, Jonah. I appreciate it.
Khalil Mack dominated the fuck out of this game.
It's almost like he's good.
Yeah, he's real good. Came
And-
back off the injury.
And
Didn't
There's also,
matter.
I feel like there's also someone else I'm not seeing on that list.
He was hurt. We talked about this.
he didn't play.
Of course you did. Of course he's not on the list.
On the other
Yeah.
thing too to talk about this receiving, like Devontae Adams, they said I think I saw something. This is his third highest target of his career. You hope that this kind of spreads back out now that Waller's been paid and maybe Renfro. They realize how little they threw to him.
I will say though, watching this game, every time they tried to throw to Renfro, it looked like everything went wrong.
I'd be worried. Renfro could become the MVS of this team.
I mean, there was one play where he tried to force it to Renfro in the end zone, and it just nailed Nasir Adderley in the back. If he just turns around, it's a pick, easy.
The
No,
Raiders.
let him force feed Renfro. What's your issue, Dana?
The Raiders.
No, my issue was that like when he chose to force feed him, it was just really bad.
No, let him force feed him. I don't have a stake in it. I don't own him in fantasy or anything.
I'm worried about the Raiders, but it's a wait and see for me.
Not that worried. The Chargers are very good. They held their own. They
The
stayed
Chargers
in the
also
game.
did kind of almost pull at Chargers and let them come back into that game and
Yeah.
steal it. But they didn't, so maybe that's a good step for them.
All right, I'm gonna head out now. You guys can do whatever. I don't need to talk about this.
I think we'll start with Dak. We know Dak's hurt. He's out.
I mean,
He's out for
yeah.
He's out for 2 to 8 weeks. However much Whataburger Jerry Jones eats on a specific day will show how quickly or how unquickly he comes back.
Is it
But
the more he eats, quicker or slower?
But who knows, Jake? I think it's kind of like depends what he's eating as well. What he ordered that day.
Whether or not he has more salt to put on it.
Yeah, how this man's alive is beyond me. But
Money.
I don't even. Maybe Whataburger's a secret. Who fucking knows? But I think beyond wanting Dak to come back as a Cowboys fan, you gotta be worried. I'm so angry. Let me say this too, because we have our little pick'ems thing that we'll explain here in a bit. But I retardedly, that word I might get canceled for that word, but I picked the fucking over for this game because I bought into Jonah's stupid hype, and I bought in. It's not just Jonah; it was the podcast and different.
I don't think
media.
I was really hyping him up that much.
Jonah,
Stop.
don't.
I definitely don't think I hyped him up very much.
Jonah, stop.
I just said we'd make the playoffs.
That's Jonah.
not
You're
really- that's
such a
not hyping
liar,
much.
Jonah. I had so many conversations with you one-on-one where I was like, I'm worried about your offense, and you're like, you don't need to be worried about our offense. You said that so many fucking times. I'm angry now. That's as bad as Jake saying we created the narrative of Jake hating on unathletic receivers. That's as bad as that, Jonah.
If they just relied on Schultz more, and they'd actually activated our 3rd round pick as opposed to making him inactive, and ran the ball more.
And won the game and scored points and
No, just these, like, not even win the game, just look better. Like, there's just clear things they could have done to look better.
I hate
Like,
this.
Noah Brown had 9 targets. And CeeDee Lamb had those 11 and caught 2. Like, that's terrible. The biggest problem with this game wasn't even that Dak got hurt. It's that Dak looked bad before he got hurt. Like, really bad. And it's a combination of the receivers just after CeeDee Lamb not being good, so CeeDee Lamb got blanketed on everything, and Dak was like, he's the only guy I can trust. And the fact that they were so worried about the offensive line, which was holding its own, that they kept 2 tight ends back in protection and had multiple plays where they ran 3 routes. That just doesn't work against this Buccaneers defense.
I just want him to run with Tony Pollard too. It'll never happen. because Jerry just loves Zeke, like you say all the
Zeke
time.
Zeke Zeke was better than Pollard in this game.
Yeah, but I think if you just let Pollard, like, I don't know. It might be a little bit of pass, just knowing what Pollard can do. But
I see. I've never understood the I think Tony Pollard is just that much better than Zeke thing.
Jonah, you
Like
came
it
to
just
your
has never
senses
made
the
sense.
other day about this Cowboy shit, and you told us to
No,
stop letting
I
you do
know
it, and
Zeke is
you're
I know
falling
Zeke is going to
into
get
it.
cut at the end of the season because he's too expensive. But Zeke is still like all around better than Pollard, and Pollard is just he's not taking over as a runner. He's just not physically just out there doing it. He doesn't look any better. He was worse.
Every time Pollard gets out there, Dak checks into a passing play because he's like, he's gonna take my boyfriend's fucking spot. He doesn't want that.
He's afraid of losing.
I think the other thing to say about Dallas is the defense looked great, but I
The
think that
defense was
will.
solid. Parsons was great. The rest of the defense it had its moments where it looked bad. We gave up way too much to Leonard Fournette, who had a very good game.
And I think that rolls into the Tampa Bay of like 19 points is. I think they should have had so much more than that. Like I feel like Tampa Bay is getting none of like the blame because of what Dallas looked like, and then the fact that Dak also got hurt. So the media's not really focusing in on it. But I thought Tampa Bay's offense looked so bad. Besides like Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette, and then like two big plays to Julio Jones, and then the one touchdown to Mike Evans. Like
But
with the
the
exception of those like three like those three passes and the Leonard Fournette stuff, uh, they started such good starting field position too for most of those drives.
But I do think Tampa will get better because it's like there's a lot of people talking about it throughout the weekend of like certain teams like the Bengals didn't play anybody all preseason, and it's like did that hurt them or not? I think you can't deny that
Brady wasn't even there.
your starting quarterback wasn't there for 2 weeks.
Not just that, like that's part of why I like if Dak hadn't gotten hurt, I would have had Copium for next week because Dak and no, like we didn't start any starters in the preseason. The entire preseason, nobody played, which is really stupid. But that's why I would have had Copium. But him being hurt, I don't have to have any of that. But Tom Brady literally not being there for 2 weeks and not playing with any of them other than that one drive in that preseason game, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and I
And
think
then I'm
Tampa
really
Bay will
annoyed that they
get better.
played Godwin.
Yeah, I don't. I think that was dumb
They rushed
too.
him back, and so we got a different injury because his
Which
body was
happens, which
compensating.
happens a
Ugh.
lot, exactly. Which happens a lot with people getting hurt. But anything you want to say, Jake? You've been quiet. You don't want to bury the Cowboys because you're buddies with old Jonah.
No, I probably agree with Skip on this one where it's like, did they really get any worse at quarterback?
Does Dallas go out and get a quarterback? I talked to a coworker today that said we were talking about the Jimmy G
Yes,
thing,
Jake, they do.
thinking about the Jimmy G thing, and I was like, hey, we got a quarterback up here in Pittsburgh, Mason Rudolph. He's all yours. And
I
he
mean,
said,
my thing is Cooper
If
Rush any worse than Dak? I don't know.
yes, we're not entertaining this conversation. I will mute you if
we
I have
don't,
to.
we don't need that conversation. We've been talking a lot. This is a long pod. We don't need to start
Uh,
this.
Drew, I will
No, I
say,
mean, I just
I think the Cowboys are more likely to trade for Mason than for Jimmy. They
yeah,
want
because
to.
it
They
costs
just
a
need
lot.
something stopgap.
What if you
What
guys
was
give
that?
us a second for Mason?
What was that, Jake?
He just costs a lot less. Oh, why
Oh, he
would you
costs a lot less,
trade?
and Jimmy has that no trade clause, so I'm not entirely sure that he would want to be on
Why would
Dallas.
you trade? Well, and why would you trade premium value for Jimmy when it's literally just until Dak gets out? Like you don't want him long term.
Of
You want
course,
him. You
Jerry
want
doesn't
him.
always do smart things.
but Jerry's also talking about how Dak's going to be back in like 4 weeks when the timeline is 6 to 8.
He just knows.
The Cowboys might
He got him.
season
Jonah,
the
you don't
Cow.
understand. He got him the premium Whataburger.
You just
You're right.
better hope
I
too.
don't understand. I don't understand the healing properties of premium Whataburger. It's not here on the East Coast.
You better hope too that he gets away from that Dak doesn't run into the same problem that flipping into this game that Russell had last season.
Yeah. Well, wait, Drew.
That's a
The
big
other thing
concern
with the
too.
Bucks thing is, I think I agree with you a lot on the offense of the Bucks. That part was scary to me.
I don't think it's scary. I just think it's going to take time for them to get right.
Yeah, but you're just not happy about it.
No, yeah, definitely not happy that he disappeared because they're in a fight with his divorced quote unquote wife or whatever's happening.
And then
She tweeted "Go Tom Brady" during the game, so they're back together, right? Is
never
that how it works?
separated.
Okay.
And then the other, I mean, I guess the benefit is the Bucs defense played well. Cowboys also only team in the NFL that didn't score a touchdown. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I think that just shows how bad the
I
Cowboys
think
actually were.
that's.
I
I think
didn't
it's the wrong
realize it.
adjective. I think the adjective is sad.
I
But
didn't
now,
really realize.
maybe by the time Dak gets back, he'll have Gallup back, and you guys will be churning for your first win, so you'll be good. You'll right? Jake will get his bet.
I think we're
Yeah, that's the biggest
gonna.
thing here is your boy
We
looks
play
like
Washington. We play Giants. We might have a win, just because it's a division game in that
Maybe.
range.
Maybe. Well, let's.
What were you
close
gonna
out-
say, Jake?
No, I was just saying I'm winning that bet at least. So
Yeah.
Let's close out this week. I'm gonna start out with. I'm not a fan that Russell Wilson got booed.
wait. Before we go to this, all right, should we announce me and Jonah's gentleman's agreement on that bet though? That made it a little more fair. I said that was part of the
Oh yeah,
pot.
it's a
wasn't it?
15th for an 18th instead of whatever it was before.
Yeah, it was a 13 and 18.
It was originally a 13th for a 17th, but because I acknowledged that he probably would have won if Dak was healthy, and since the injury voids it, it's a 15th for a 17th now.
15 for 17 or 18?
No, you're agreeing to trade your 18th for Drew's trade, so we had to do 17.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll move. Oh yeah, dude, that's another thing. That commies win helps me. Let's go, baby.
Wait, how?
Because that was our bet.
I don't remember it.
It was something like the Washington would be a top 10 worst team or something. I can't remember.
I don't remember that one. I'm sure I made it, but I don't remember it.
Washington will finish in bottom 4. 5 to 7 push.
Oh my god, Jake.
Man, the Jags really cut me on that one.
Jake literally had an audible man. Jake's like, what did I do? That was fucking funny. All right, Russell Wilson.
Dude,
I don't
the Jags screwed me on that. If they win, then I'm like, okay, that's one game. I'm good.
I don't think.
I can't be giving away. We can't be giving away free games out here when I put them in the bottom 4.
Jake's like, I don't remember that. He's like, wait, fuck. Right. I don't remember Russell Wilson getting. I don't like him getting booed.
Yeah, what a dick move.
I honestly feel like it was. Like, beyond what Russell did for Seattle and bring him a Super Bowl and take him to another that Pete Carroll, by the way, threw, not Russell, even though he did throw the pick.
He literally threw it, but Pete Carroll threw it.
I'm beginning to wonder about that, though. If Pete Carroll just took the blame and Russell actually called that play.
Oh my god, we can't fucking do. There's no.
I'm beginning to wonder
way.
because Russell's the entire problem with him. The reason why they've hated him over the past few years is because he's selfish. He just wants to pad his stats.
That shit was too. Fuck that, dude. That shit has been too long. That shit.
I think this is an Antonio Brown situation. He pissed off that locker room, and the coach just hit it all. Those players came out and were like Richard Sherman and Doug Baldwin were out there tweeting about how happy they were that Russ lost.
That's fucked up. Especially when
those guys didn't like him, apparently.
He did good shit around the community in Seattle. Like, I don't like the booze. I stand by Russell Wilson. Let's ride. even though that was so memed. Poor guy.
I have no take on whether Russell Wilson's actually a good guy or not. Like, I don't care. I really don't. What I will say is, when Tom Brady came back to New England, he was treated how you should be treated as a Super Bowl winning QB for a franchise that leaves.
Yeah, I agree.
And Russ did not get that, and he deserved it.
The story should have been I feel like the story leaving this game should have been what Geno said in his little post-game press conference, which was cool, and it was a thing for Geno, instead of it kind of being that and then mostly being, wow, Russell lost, and everyone hates him in Seattle. But going into the game, I don't know. What was the big takeaways from the game? I mean, Denver, another kind of like they kind of did what the Jags did and times it by like 5, and how they threw this game.
Well, you know what I really took from this is we were right about Denver when we all just had our weird feeling about them.
That they would somehow lose, and damn, did they somehow lose this game?
Yeah, like we all were sitting there and we're like, this team. You look at this roster, and they look like they should be really good, but none of us had faith in them.
Yeah.
And this is why we got to see it week 1. I'm just happy we got to see it week 1 instead of having to wait. And like I had to be like, am I an idiot for a little while? I got to see it right away. No, they lost to Seattle somehow. Like, how in the world do you lose to Seattle?
They really somehow lost. Like, it took them fumbling 2 times, 2 different running backs fumbling on the one, and then this complete and utter debacle at the end of the game. 4th and 5 with a minute left, like just under a minute left with your 3 timeouts, and you let it run all the way down and then call a timeout and then just kick it. Where is the logic there? Why don't you just get up and have a play ready? Go for it on 4th and 5. You don't get it. You have 3 timeouts to stop them at the 50, and yeah, you're going to be pinned down deep probably by the punt, but damn, at least you get it one more damn shot.
Did you hear Hackett's quote about that today?
Yeah, he was like, I'm wrong. Yeah, you're fucking wrong.
He's like, I benefited from hindsight. I was an idiot. We definitely should have gone for it.
I heard it in the Bill Simmons podcast. They were talking about it. The guy, I guess he had on there said every year we always, go up and down about all these new and old players on the teams, but really when it comes down to it, it comes down to weather and bad coaching. I was like, you're fucking right. That is what the NFL is, game to game, week to week. How do we always have stuff like this happen? Now, Jake, why was this the right decision to kick this field goal?
It was. I mean, I think I think we were overblowing the decision a little bit.
He probably forgot he wasn't in Denver.
Yeah, I honestly think people are overblowing the decision a little. Like, I don't think it's the worst decision. Like, this to me is not as bad as decision as the Seahawks throwing it.
What if I told you McManus was 0 for 4 from 60-plus yard field goals?
He's worse than that. He's worse than that. I'm pretty sure he's 0 for 6 now. We're 0 for 7 now.
Yeah, I think your line was 62.
Yeah.
62 and up. But yeah, he's not good at kicks, man. You trade for Russell and then you pay him all that money and you don't want to go for it on 4th and 5?
Yeah, see, so like that's the argument everyone's doing. And I'm like, I get that argument, but you're arguing 2 completely different things in my opinion here. You're arguing, okay, why did we spend all this money? Like, why did you spend all that money? You shouldn't be in this scenario in the first place if you spend all that money.
But we are.
Well, you should not be going into a 4th and 5 against Seattle down a point if you pay $262 million for Russell Wilson.
But we are.
Yeah. So my point being is, okay, now we're in this situation. We already wasted the money. What right now gives me the best chance to win? And I don't think it's a ridiculous view to say, hey, I'm McMahon. Now, either not just going and saving all 3 timeouts. The issue is sitting there and then burning a timeout. But you could go line up that field goal. You could line up the field goal right away, kick it, miss it, and use all 3 timeouts to get ball back. Or you could go for it on 4th and get all 3 timeouts back. And use all 3 timeouts to get the ball back. The issue is burning the timeout to me, not so much kicking it.
Like, the issue is that he did all of it. Everything was wrong.
I don't even like kicking it. If the guy's not good from 62 or 6, I mean,
it's a 64-yard kick. He would have tied the NFL record.
He's missed them, but he's had the leg for all of them.
I don't fucking care. He's missed them.
There's no track record of success with McManus. There's a lot of track record of success with Russell Wilson.
It's 5 yards. If we're arguing like 4th and 15th or 4 and 10 or even like 4th and 10, I agree with you. Kick it. In the same spot, but further yardage, kick it. But 4th and 5, with the weapons they have, and how they were driving up and down the field, they should have been able to get fucking 5 yards.
I mean, why do we, sure, I guess, but why do we, they scored 16 points the whole game. Why do we think they can get 5 yards? Why do we think they can get 5 yards?
Because they drove up and down the field the whole game.
Never the problem. The problem was fumbling on the 1 yard line twice.
The problem was making plays on the plays you need to make plays. That was the problem.
No, it wasn't. They got down to the 1 yard line twice. They made plays all the way down the field, And
I
then when
know,
they
and
got
then
to
when
the
it
one, they
mattered
just
most, they
fumbled.
kept choking as an offense.
No, but they was just on the one. It wasn't choking on an offense as a whole. It was just choking 2 plays on the one.
In critical moments.
Yeah, but what about all the other critical moments where they didn't choke and they got down the field? Did those not count?
I'd have to look more in depth to know exactly what that splits, but like I imagine. I mean, I don't like I said. I'd have to look.
How does kicking a 64-yarder, tying the record with a guy that's never made them, which you should
He's not
all
playing,
know
right?
as a coach, how is that a better chance than going for it on 4th and 5? I really just do not understand the logic there. And then in the same situation, I agree with you. They don't call a timeout to go for it, and then they still have 3 timeouts.
Yeah. My thing, burning the timeout is the dumb thing. If you don't do it immediately, you either burn the timeout immediately so you can figure it out, or you don't burn it at all. That's where they were dumb. You can you can be perfectly fine kicking that ball. If they make that field goal, no one is saying it's a dumb decision.
But they didn't make it. They missed. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
I don't even like them. I didn't like them kicking it in the moment.
But points in, if they make it, no one is complaining about it.
Well, if they don't fumble twice on the one, no one's complaining about it.
Yeah.
No one's saying they didn't choke in the 2 crucial moments. Well, 3. I don't know. You just go for it. I swear to God, you just go for it. We'll never agree, Jake.
Well, I mean, I didn't say I don't think you. I said I don't think the going for it versus kicking it is the big error there. I think the big error there is the wasting a timeout.
And then calling 2 more timeouts with 15 seconds left. It's like
Trying to ice the center.
Well, so that one, I legitimately, and this blows my mind. I literally think he forgot he used the timeout. Because when he calls the first one or whatever, you can see him say to the ref, "I have 3, right?"
And even too, they did see him fucking miss the kick too. I know you're like, well, he got it there. He missed it. Wouldn't it have been so fucked up too if the refs threw the flag for like kicking it when he shouldn't have? That'd have been fucking funny.
Made it a 69-yarder.
And they still do it? I'd been like, fire this guy now. Alright, well, we spent so much time on that team. I guess the only other thing is like Seattle's pass catchers were kind of what we thought they'd be, so there's that.
Did they? Well, actually, I don't even remember the sound. Did they do anything? Metcalf?
No, not really.
No, Metcalf was like 4 for...
Which isn't shocking. Like, we didn't really
7
think
for
they were,
36.
but...
Yeah, it was a Will Disley game.
Man, that's so sad.
It was like 4 tight ends, 2 caught passes for them.
Like, could you be wasting talent more?
I mean, no. I mean, DK Metcalf, I feel like I could just see him in like towards the end of the season and throughout the offseason being another AJ Green, just forcing his way out. But all in all, good for Geno. Sucks for Russell. Move on. Okay, but we talked about it. This is what we're doing this year. We're picking. We're making predictions. This week doesn't count for first off, besides the record. But we have a point system that's starting next week. So the way it's going to work is, if you take a team that's favored, if you take a team plus, like the Steelers here, plus 6.5, and they cover, then you get 1 point. If you pick an over and under and you get it right, you get 1 point. If you take a favorite money line straight, or a favorite
Money line.
Yeah, money line straight, then you only get 1 point. If you take an underdog straight, you get you get 2 points.
Sure.
And then if you take a favorite to cover, you get 1.5 points. So this is how it fell out this week, with not knowing this point system till after we picked.
Yeah. So the total this week is really what matters, because that was just us picking, and that's how we got it. And then the point system was what we came up post to try to balance it out a little.
And I'll point out that I got attacked for giving myself a tie, a 0.5 for the Colts, and being told that's not how it went, and it is how it went. So eat my ass.
Copium. No one ever attacked him for the tie. We were like, Drew, take the tie. You deserve it. That's how I remember that going.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
remember Jake being a part of the attack and then immediately throwing Jonah under the bus when I found proof that it was a voided bet.
I will strongly disagree that
But void means nothing. Void doesn't mean you get points.
I guess. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but then we spent all that time counting, and it would have been for 9, Jonah.
I threw Jonah under the bus, and I'll gladly admit it.
Okay. Well, we have Chiefs Chargers Thursday. We're gonna do Thursday's picks here, and then the rest of the picks will go with our preview before Sunday. So 4.5. Chiefs are favored by 4.5. They're at home. Over under 54.5. We're gonna make our picks. I'm gonna take the easy bet here. It's Chiefs minus 4.5. Give me my 1.5. No Keenan Allen at home. The way they looked last week, it's gonna be a good game still. I think even without Keenan. But I'm with Patty Mahomes till he proves me wrong. Jake?
I was hoping we would go over last week's of the bolder picks and stuff, but okay.
Well,
This,
we're almost at 2 hours right now. We still have to do the tier list stuff. So
Sheesh. Man, I don't realize. Chargers money line.
Jake's going for the big plays.
I just think they're gonna win.
I like it. It's bold. Jonah? This is when Jake's season falls apart. You could see there last week Jake won the points without us doing it, but now Jake's only playing for points. He's a fool.
I was picking to this before we even had the point system. I've been looking at this as one of my main bets this week.
I don't feel confident either way. It is a toss up, and I see that's the thing is like I also have no idea if they're gonna go crazy on points or not.
I would take the under.
I think
the winner.
I'm gonna also go Chiefs minus 4.5.
That's right, Jonah.
Let's go. Put me on an island.
Yeah, I don't love that because if we're wrong, it's real bad for us. But
no, you'll be able to make it up.
Oh shoot! Wait, Chiefs. Chargers money line. That's a 2-pointer, isn't it?
Man, yeah.
I was saying big points.
They get this point system.
But ours is a 1.5.
No, I mean it doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter. What's gonna happen? Chiefs are gonna win by 1. Everyone's gonna get zeros start the week. But okay, so that's taken care of. I mean, anything we want to say about the game beforehand? We should just wait because then we can recap it when it actually happens. Or I guess we'll be kind of all right. We can't do that. What do we think about the game?
Yeah, why can't we recap it? I'm confused.
Because we'll be recording it during the game, pretty much.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a good game.
It's two of the best, like 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the league. Very excited.
Yeah, it's exciting. First Thursday night game with the new crew. Overstreet and that guy.
Al
Michaels. So
it's gonna be on Amazon. You're gonna have to tell your boomer parents and relatives how to watch it.
Do we have Amazon? Yes, we have Amazon. How do I get to it? It doesn't matter. You don't even care about this game either. If you can name me one receiver from either team, I'll let you do it. Tyreek Hill? Nope. Go to bed. Go to bed. All right. We're gonna close with this. Each week after the reviews of the recaps of the games, we're gonna make some moves here. And I don't know how we're gonna do this. Maybe we all get one move. I don't know.
Can I go first
You
and
go
just
first.
hope that I get some backlash?
Okay. You won't.
Wait, real quick,
That
can I make
sucks.
a suggestion on how I think we do this?
How?
I think we just start at the top and we just, hey, Bucks, do any of us feel like they move? Bengals.
Okay.
You know, most of them we're not going to want to move.
Hey.
All right, I like it. Bucks, no, right?
Yeah, like I think we're
Oh,
all
I
good.
was just gonna go do the one first though.
We'll do.
You really do one first?
We don't, Jake. Jonah, it's about halfway down the board. Just be patient. You're gonna be all right, Jonah. They'll rebound. Bengals, are they moving?
No, not for me.
No, I'm leaving the Bengals.
I'll leave them. I'll leave them up for one more week. If they lose this week to the boys,
Yeah, then we can have a discussion.
the Chiefs, they're staying, right?
Yeah, they'll just trade spots.
Yeah, Chiefs staying, Bills staying. I'm assuming those top four are all staying, right?
Chargers staying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had them as a contender initially, and I would probably still put them in contender
The
category.
Colts. I think the Colts. I'm not too worried about the Colts.
The Colts stay in playoff team, but if we'd had these teams ordered, they'd be much lower down now.
Okay. Rams.
I have them as playoff hopeful now.
I think
They're
they stay.
playoff. I think
They're flirting that edge.
Where'd you shake? You cut out.
they're still playoff team for me.
Okay. Titans. I kind of don't mind moving them down to playoff hopeful.
I think the Titans should be, playoff hopeful.
I thought the whole division was playoff hopeful.
All right. Ravens. They're staying.
Yeah, I agree.
Packers. I'm moving them down.
Nope.
I would say move them down. Playoff hopeful.
Let's go, Jake.
Terrible
Eagles,
decisions.
They're staying.
Eagles should move up a little bit, but not to contenders.
We're not
no.
gonna do. I don't want to do that. It's gonna be
Okay,
too fucking
okay.
annoying.
Just because that's going to take too long if we
Yeah.
shift these.
49ers.
Playoff hopeful.
They're fine where they're at.
I like them where they're at as well. So these teams are staying. Raiders.
The Packers should move up.
No.
We just moved the Packers down.
Don't listen to his dumbass. The Raiders like where they're at. For now, I'll keep them here.
I think the Raiders
Yeah,
are fine.
to me-
That's
to
exactly
me,
where they
that's-
should probably finish.
I think the Vikes should move up.
I think they should move down.
Playoff team.
Playoff team. Fucking. All right, Dolphins. They're fine.
Dolphins, I think, should be in playoff
Outs-
team.
Outside looking in.
I'm leaving them here for now. So I guess literally we're just gonna leave them here because we got one up, one down, one right in the middle.
Yep.
The Saints. I like them where they're at.
Yep.
Yep, I'm good with Saints.
The Steelers. I like them where they're at.
Yep.
I would actually. No, they're good there.
Not yet.
Yeah. The worry of the offense is legitimate, but the defense also played so well that I'm like, they still got a chance.
The Steelers are in an unfortunate situation where they'll probably finish top 14, but they'll probably finish as like the 8th or 9th AFC team. So they won't be able to make the playoffs
Kenny
because of the
Pickett comes
NFC.
in and he's a beast.
I can't move them.
All right, Jags. They're fine.
I'm annoyed as fuck that you guys have them in playoff hopeful. They should be in Ratbird.
I think they're fine here.
Yeah, I think they're low in playoff football.
The Browns. I think they're surprising that he's gonna stay.
No, I have them as outside looking in, but that's fine where they're at.
Jake, you want to move him down?
Watson's 11-game suspension, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll give them another week or so here before.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, Jonah.
All right, the raddest Ratbird.
I'm not putting him. I want him. I want to leave him outside looking in. Till I get some
Well-
more clarity of what's gonna happen with Dak.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw them in Ratbird because they were already in my Ratbird.
Okay.
So
All right, Cardinals. I want to move them down the Ratbird.
I will second that motion. I think
Third it.
you could convince me into giving them another week, but like you could also pretty easily convince me to be like, nah, just throw them in the pit.
I don't think they deserve another week.
Yeah, I would probably agree.
All right, Broncos. They're fine. Broncos are a team that can move up for me, but they are what we thought.
No,
they
they're
were
where
right
they
now.
are.
They are what we thought they were. All right, Panthers.
Ratbird.
Panthers are fine where they're
I
at.
think they're fine. I think I could be convinced to move the commies up. With the NFC being showing me that it's just so wide open and they won. So that's why I think they could be moved up for now.
So the Panthers were in my Ratbird, by the way, which is why I said Ratbird, and commies are in my Ratbird as well. So And the
I
commies
guess
the commies want you, whether I agree with you or not. I have to leave them in Ratbird.
I guess I could see the argument for that. But at best, they're gonna finish 8th
The better team.
in the NFC. Yeah, I would just leave them where they're at.
All right. Seattle, I think we can move them up. That's a big win for them.
I think they're still a rat bird. I don't have them outside yet.
Jake,
I think they just stole a win.
Y'all are making this difficult. I want it easy.
you're the one who wants to do this.
I know. 100% on me, but I think Rapids still.
All right, Lions, move them up.
No, until they actually win, we can't move them up.
Fuck you mean?
I mean, they're gonna be like somewhere in that 8 to 10 range, but I don't think you can move them up right now.
They are probably near the top of my Ratbirds. I had them in Ratbirds. I think they're still Ratbird, but I think they are like Jonas said, an 8, 9, 10th pick.
Falcons?
Maybe they. I mean, I'm
leaving them right where they are. They're still the same team. Even when they have
agree.
a great offensive performance, they still can't hold a lead. So fuck them.
I'm gonna put them exactly where I had them before. And outside looking in, I assume that means nothing, and they don't move an inch.
Nope, they are what they are, and they will always blow leads even when they have good offensive performances.
Yep.
Bears? Let me see them play in normal weather, and maybe I move them up.
Ratbird.
We'll go faster. Jets?
The Bears earned a little bit of respect.
They
Give them
did.
that.
The Bears play good next week. If the Bears beat the Packers, I'll probably put them in playoff hopeful because 2 wins. And
I'm gonna be out $50.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm changing. I'm putting Bears and outside looking in.
I can't do it yet. I can't do it yet.
No,
I need a week. If they play good, even if they beat the Packers, they're going playoff hopeful. If they play a good game and lose still, they're going outside looking in. If what's gonna happen happens, they're gonna stay right where they're at. The Jets, they're staying.
Jets are staying.
Ratbird.
New England staying.
Ratbird.
Houston, I could move them up and outside looking in. They're as fucking good a chance to win as anybody else in that division.
Yeah,
No.
I had them looking in the start.
All right,
so
I'll move them up. Giants, I'll also move them up.
also outside looking in. I had them there to start.
All right, you guys have some serious problems here.
What is that?
Look how few teams are in your bottom 10.
Well, you
8.
guys said that it didn't matter.
For the group one, it does not have to be 10.
I pointed that out, and I was shunned. I was beaten down with a stick.
For individuals, it needs to be 10 because you're picking your 10 bottom. But for the group one, the idea that we're going to consensus about the exact same bottom 10 does not make sense.
Okay. This is our post week 1 tier list.
I will say, this tier list is looking more and more closer to mine.
I'm sure.
I mean, the Texans and Giants are out of Ratbird. The Cowboys are now in Ratbird.
It could easily be blown away next week, though. The Giants in Houston are up there just based off a half a win and a win.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to keep Jacksonville alive and playoff hopeful if they lose again next week.
Yeah, I agree with that too, though.
So,
Jake,
right.
This is only because somehow Drew's delusionally on your side for a lot of these.
There's a bunch of
This
these.
tier list should not look like yours.
Jonah, all I'm gonna say is one of the major ones that was a big change up. You initiated.
We lost our starting quarterback. There's no hope.
I love this.
We have Mike McCarthy. There's no hope.
I never thought this would happen on this pod, but I'm like the swing vote. You guys are the right and left, and I'm the guy in the middle that picks the winner. And I love the power it comes with.
I just can't wait for Sean Payton.
Well, I hope he comes.
Things will be better next year.
That's the pod. 210. Hopefully we'll get quicker with the recaps and then buy.
We will not.
No, we will not when we start fucking. I mean, I really think the only extra argument we had in here that was actually, relatable to what we were talking about was the Denver and Seattle game. Everything else was some bullshit that got brought up secondary to the fact of what we were talking about. But that's why you guys don't listen to the Copium take.
Sure.
But that's episode 10. True episode 10, not cut on the cutting floor.
Not fake episode 10.
Yeah.
Not that fake episode 10.
Not the one that
It's
Jake
only an
clicked
episode
on.
if we're all there. Otherwise, it's just a conversation.
Yeah, cringe. All right. Well, like I said, the preview for next week where we do our picks, that'll probably be out Friday or Saturday. I haven't decided yet. But until then, thanks for listening. Share for the kids. Hope you have a good day. Love you. Goodbye.
Make sure to send it to your elder with pastor.
There you go. Bye.